Hey, you guys. Y'all know I don't really use StreamYard that much, but listen, let me try to find this live stream. Hold on. Let me try to pull up the playback, see if I could find the playback. And then I just need to grab this playback and then we'll get started because we have quite a bit to go over. Not really quite a whole bunch. It ain't really all that, but we do have stuff to go over. Okay, so here's my live stream. Now I'm going to start because I needed to pull up the chat box. Sorry, you guys. I needed to pull up the chat before I come on camera and before we get this train rolling. I want to wait for more people to come in here. Obviously, whatever I have to say, I'm going to repeat it. Because I do know at different points in time, different people come on here, but y'all know now I don't really be on YouTube like that, but I have something to say that needs to be said publicly because I don't see anybody checking these lying ass bandits. Like I don't see nobody checking bandits the way they need to be checked. Yeah, Sire, I hope StreamYard will be better too. And it likely will. But since we don't go on YouTube a lot, if y'all want to like share the YouTube video, let me pull StreamYard out on its own tab too, because I need to pull StreamYard out. I want to address this whole Tabitha Brown thing. I saw her video. I don't feel the need to play it. Y'all probably saw it too. I'm just gonna come out and tell y'all I don't care what Tabitha Brown is talking about. I don't buy Tabitha Brown's products, and I don't see why she can't sell her products on a website of her own. And so I guess the issue with Tabitha Brown would have to come. It would have to be an issue that's taken by people who support Tabitha Brown and buys her products, which I do not. I can't. I find Tabitha Brown's energy to be too fake for me to entertain it. So I don't entertain fake people. And so I'm not buying Tabitha Brown's soft-spoken, condescending, I'm a religious, passive-aggressive tone. I don't fall for that. A lot of people do. I don't support Tabitha Brown, so I won't be listening to anything she says. Bottom line is, I'm not shopping at Target or Walmart, and I'm going to do my hardest to not shop from Amazon. It's very difficult to do that, though. But in general, I'm not going to be spending a lot. I'm only probably going to be buying groceries and necessities because I'm just tired of giving money into an economy that does not care about people who look like me. And that's something I want to address too. I want to address the Tabitha Brown situation. I want to address Black men running around in a time where your civil rights has been removed and creating lies and dumb childish narratives about child support just to get under Black women's skin. Bandits running around talking about DEI didn't benefit Black women just so that there's no expectation that they do anything. So we are going to get into quite a bit of things because I see exactly why you have Umar Johnson with his meatball ass sitting in a video spreading misinformation, talking about DEI didn't benefit Black people. And it's just, I just don't understand. I'll say it again. I've been saying it and I'll say it again. Black women listening to Black men is and will continue to be their greatest downfall. It just is what it is. Listening to Black men is going to be y'all's greatest downfall for the ones who are dumb enough to listen to Black men. I don't know who will be dumb enough to listen to them, but there is a sector of the population who are dumb enough to listen to black men and dumb enough to continue to listen to black men, knowing that the only thing that they have to offer you is lies. Let me make sure all my audio stuff is where it needs to be. Okay. Let's test. It sounds like I love it. Okay, sounds to me like they're working. Were y'all able to hear that? Because that was me testing the audio through StreamYard. So if y'all were able to hear that, then if y'all were able to hear the audio test, then everything is fine. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all have it. If StreamYard isn't having audio issues, then we will continue with StreamYard. We'll continue with StreamYard. I've erased all those toxic male channels, as you should. As you should. No one should be listening to black men, but let me just say this. First of all, I do want to give a huge shout out first and foremost, and it will continue to be first and foremost when we go live. I want to shout out everyone who has continued to support me on Patreon. Thank y'all so much. The Patreon supporters are always going strong. They maintain support. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Obviously, my continuance in doing the content is based on people on Patreon. So thank y'all so much for all of your support. Really appreciate it. Can't find enough words to thank you. Your support means everything. It's everything. That's the only, it's like it has the most value because it's genuinely everything. So thank you so much for that. If you are wanting to sign up for Patreon, which 99.9% of my content is on Patreon, I rarely go live on YouTube. It's not even consistent as once a week. I do not put pre-recorded content on YouTube, not really. I may give you a tiny clip from a video so that you can subscribe to Patreon, but my content is just not on YouTube. If somebody tries to put it on YouTube, it's just going to get removed because of copyright grounds. And I am going to copyright strike whoever takes my content, especially if you're taking it off Patreon. Oh, I'm going to do everything in my power to get your channel removed for copyright, because you shouldn't be stealing people's content. I don't steal people's content. I'm not going to stand for people stealing my content. I've had issues with people subscribing to Patreon because they think they're going to build themselves a YouTube channel off of my content, and you're just not. You're just not going to, because I'm just going to have YouTube remove your channel because your channel is 100% someone else's content. And so the link is in the description box for the Patreon. If y'all want to sign up for Patreon, it is not required, but it is the only way to basically get my content. So I definitely wanted to get that out of the way, because we're going to dive into this. Because if y'all are familiar with me on YouTube, y'all will know that I am most notoriously known for highlighting the deficits of black men. And I will continue to. And I will continue to, because the deficits need to be highlighted. One of the statements, most controversial statements that I've made that is literally reigning true today, is that, yeah, you were told that these bandits fought during the civil rights movement so that you can have freedom, but I told y'all they did not. Freedom to black men, and if you look at this historically, if you do the research, freedom to black men has been tied to access to white women. I want y'all to understand that. And I've told y'all the only thing that black men have actively fought for was access to white women. I maintain that today. I will debate anybody on it. Anybody can step up and try to say that it's not true, and we can get into it, and I'll prove it to you that it is true. One of the ways I'm gonna prove it to you right now is based off of what black men are doing right now. Now, the whole entire 1965 civil rights bill that black men take credit for The whole civil rights bill has been dismissed. This was done, I believe, on day 1 or day 2 of Trump's presidency. Black men have done absolutely nothing. You want to know why they've done absolutely nothing? Because even though the civil rights bill was removed, the part about them still having access to white women has not. So what black men are doing, because they know that they should be doing something, they know that this was a move by another group of men to see what black men are going to do. Black men are doing absolutely nothing except trying to convince you that the civil rights bill did not do anything for you. And the reason I'm saying civil rights bill is because people seem to think there's a separation between DEI and the civil rights bill. No, these are one and the same. DEI is the civil rights bill. There would be no DEI if there was no civil rights bill. So the fact that you got black men running around trying to convince you that these people decided to just not be racist and they decided to employ you out of the kindness of their heart, know that they're doing that so that they can rest in their cowardliness. That's why. They want to rest in their cowardliness because they don't feel like anything has been taken away from them. Why do they not feel like anything has been taken away from them? Because they still have access to non-black women. This is why. This should be the point where black women completely walk away from black men. They should be completely canceled. They should be completely canceled. They are showing you that they stand by discrimination on your part. Women being able to work. Women being able to work is the civil rights bill. Bandits and their bandita followers want to tell you that no, well, black women have always worked. Yeah, you were always restricted to one type of work, though. The civil rights bill allowed you to leave a white person's home where you were being a servant that was being abused in, and it allowed you to go work in the corporate world. Before the civil rights bill, there weren't any black women in corporate arenas. I don't recall them being there. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't believe that there was any women working in corporate prior to the civil rights bill. The civil rights bill does affect you, and it affects you a lot. It affects you a lot. The reason why you have Meatball over here spreading this false message is because he doesn't want black women asking black men, what are you going to do about the fact that your civil rights were just removed? You said you worked for it. You said you fought for the 1965 civil rights bill. So you go just allow them to repeal it like that, and you ain't even go file a lawsuit? When the birthright citizenship bill was repealed, within 24 hours, 22 states got a federal judge to block the removal of it. So what they're essentially doing is they are having Donald Trump's administration tied up in federal courts for years, possibly during the duration of his presidency, in order to keep the birthright as a part of the Constitution. Black men ain't even filed no lawsuit. Black men ain't even filed no lawsuit. They ain't even filed a lawsuit. And that's why I told y'all this before. While black men have a history of going to the Supreme Court, it wasn't involving you. It was so that they could lay up with women of no color. They ain't never went to the Supreme Court. They ain't never filed one lawsuit on beside of black women. If they have, prove it. Prove it. Prove it and tell me the name of the lawsuit that black men filed with the Supreme Court or any court on behalf of black women or to do something to benefit black women. Prove it to me, because they ain't did a damn thing. They ain't never fought for you, ever. They've never done it. Now, the problem here is black men's hubris, because they seem to think that the reversal of these bills are going to affect you more than them. It's really not. It's going to affect them mostly. It's going to affect them mostly. And the reason it's going to affect them mostly is because there are already institutions who are trying to invest in black women monetarily. There is none of them who are dumb enough to invest in black men. You wouldn't get anything. You wouldn't get a return on your investment. No one is going to do it. The only person who's going to invest in black women and black men is black women. That's it. That's it. That's the only person. There is zero groups of people who are foolish enough to invest in black men. They know that they will get zero return on their investment. They just would not. These bandits been spending time telling y'all how much we fought. Well, you had MLK and Malcolm X and we was the deacons of defense, and they don't even got to touch you. All they got to do is remove the civil rights bill, and you cower like a bitch and try to convince the women in your community that they didn't benefit from it. Also that they won't ask you, what is your weak ass doing? What are you doing? Oh, the same thing you been always doing, nesting. Trying to find a black woman to go lay up under, or a Beckisha. Bandits are out here trying to figure out what skirt they about to hide under for the next 4 years. I don't know if y'all think they really doing something that matters. They're not. They're figuring out whose skirt are they going to hide under, because they gonna need some protection from these males that they been afraid of. I want y'all to see this video here though. Oh, hold on. Let me connect my Ethernet cord. And I'm really trying to censor. I want y'all to understand that this is me being real merciful verbally. I'm being real merciful right here, because I could be dragging bandits, and bandits will understand that you're not important enough for me to care about your opinion. I promise you, that's the one thing bandits should know, unless they're slow. Unless you slow, then, and you convince yourself that you are my people or that I owe you something, which a raggedy bandit would do, because they live in a constant state of delusion. They think that because you possess the same skin tone that they possess, that somehow you owe them something. And I want them to know I don't owe them anything. I owe you absolutely nothing. There is no black man that I owe anything to, nor do I owe any type of loyalty to you just because you black. I promise you I don't, though. I promise you, though, that I don't. And I'm going to proceed as if I don't. This is not one of those black women that you think you get to just come say, oh, well, look at what she doing to her people. No, I'm going to let you know right now, you're not my people. You're not. And if you say that you are, I'm going to correct you and let you know that you're not. But this is me being merciful at this point. This is me actually holding back. This is me holding back, because I really could be dragging them for filth, because they're showing how neutered and castrated they are. They might as well just go buy them some panties. I should just really see a whole bunch of black men lined up going into Victoria's Secret, get the appropriate attire, put you some panties on. Because at the end of the day, you a bitch, and somebody is, and it's already been proven that you a bitch. It's literally already been proven that they bitches. It's been proven. Some of the guys on YouTube being way too quiet for me. They should always, like, why would you be listening to bandits on YouTube? Like, this is the one thing I don't understand. What is the point in listening to what a black man has to say? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why we will be paying any attention to what black men have to say. 9 times out of 10, they ain't saying nothing beneficial to you. They not. I promise you they're not. They're lying most of the time. 99.99999% of the time they lying. And if ain't nothing for them to lie about, they'll make up something. They will. And black women want to lie about black men's pathology. I already told y'all, if they don't have a way to slight you, if an organic way to slight you is not presented, they will find one. Hold on. Is my camera off? Okay. Now it's on. Or it should be on. Yeah, no, they do. They need to go get them some lace panties. I would suggest a thong. Then it would actually make sense that you are nesting. They nesting. Yeah, I turned it on. This on now. Listen to what Umar Johnson over here lying about. Because we know he lying about something. Let's listen to him.
DEI did not benefit black people in mass.
I hear a lot of people spreading this. I want y'all to listen to see if Umar Johnson is about to give you some comparative stats to back up what he's saying. Again, DEI and civil rights bill is the same. So then why were you fighting for civil rights if you felt like it wasn't going to benefit black people? But let's see if Umar Johnson give you some comparative statistics. Because in order to gauge whether DEI, the civil rights bill, i.e., benefited black people, which we know it did because you were sitting up in white spaces, you was being employed in corporations where they wouldn't have hired you otherwise. So if you had access to employment, then it benefited you. It just is what it is. I guarantee you this man ain't gonna give you no comparative stats. Raise your hand if you think Umar Johnson about to give you some stats from Jim Crow, pre-civil rights, and then track it every single, 10 years since then, every decade. He ain't about to give you no stats. That's what he would have to do. That is exactly what he would have to do to say DEI didn't benefit black people in mass. How does he know that? Can he prove it? And look, you have a dumb black woman here. She ain't dumb because she's black. She's dumb because of who she's listening to. Precisely. It only benefited white women in the Skittle community. Women's rights are DEI. Does she not know that she wouldn't be up here on this platform if it wasn't for DEI? Does she not know that? Does none of these black people know that they wouldn't even be on white-owned Meta, i.e. Instagram? You would not be there if it was not for DEI. You wouldn't be at school if it wasn't at DEI. You wouldn't be going to hospitals or having nurses or doctors or surgeons that were DEI. You wouldn't be at no bank. You wouldn't have a bank account. Now, I would encourage you to not have a bank account at Bank of America or Wells Fargo. Chase is maintaining DEI. You can bank there. Chase said they are not changing their DEI. Chase Bank said they're not doing it, so you can definitely still bank there. Black women have consistently allowed black men to feed them lies, and they've been ingesting them, just sucking them down with a straw. Umar Johnson is lying. Why is he lying? Because he does not want y'all asking black men why they are not doing anything. Because if he can convince you that it didn't benefit you, then nothing was taken away from you. There's nothing that black men can do then you don't have a reason to go to black men and ask they weak asses why they ain't doing nothing. And it's the fact that they know that there's always going to be a black woman's house that they can nest in. Now, it won't be mine. I can tell y'all my doors are closed to bandits of all races. My doors are closed to bandits. You ain't gonna come over here for no shelter. I got nothing for you. You can get your ass out there and deal with them men who just took your civil rights away. That's what you need to do. Let's listen to the rest of his lies.
It benefited a couple of token blacks. And I'm sorry, y'all going to lose your little token.
It benefited a few token blacks. Let's see how many black people were employed under the Civil Rights Bill. How many black people were employed due to the Civil Rights Bill? And the reason they keep calling it DEI is because it's for the same reason that your conservatives are calling it DEI, because they want you to think it's black specifically. They want you to think it applies to race when it does not. It applies to race, religion, gender, disability status, and veteran status. It doesn't just apply to that. In 1963, the unemployment rate was 5.0%. Okay, no, I need to see what it was for blacks. Provisions of the Civil Rights Act forbade discrimination on the basis of sex as well as race in hiring, promoting, and firing. The act prohibited discrimination in public accommodations and federally funded programs. It also strengthened the workforce of the voting rights and the desegregation of schools. The reason Umar Johnson is calling it DEI because he does not want you to know that this is the Civil Rights Bill. It is the Civil Rights Bill. It's not just your ability to work. It's your ability to be. Do y'all think housing discrimination wasn't a part of civil rights or DEI? Put a 1 in the chat box if you think housing discrimination wasn't a part of DEI. Your ability to get housing in certain neighborhoods is a part of DEI. The schools that you go to is DEI. But black women are over here allowing black men to tell them DEI didn't benefit them, when the reality is the fact that you're a woman on Instagram, it says DEI benefits you. If you are a woman and you work in the corporate arena, DEI benefits you. Right. And China King said, girl, they think it's hard to get apartments now. Wait until they can exclude you based on race. Right. And wait until you forced to be in a hood because you thought DEI, getting rid of DEI was a good thing, or you were too ignorant to educate yourself on what DEI actually is. A lot of white people will be disenfranchised because DEI goes away, particularly white women. They need to worry about those conservative men who feel like they should not be working because they are women. Well, when you get rid of the DEI, i.e. Civil Rights Bill, it means they don't have to hire you because you are a woman. But black women are listening to black men. Let's continue to listen to them.
Benefits. But DEI did not benefit the masses of African people. Barack Obama is the first president to use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion in his DEI initiative that he signed in August of 2011, mandating that the federal government take steps to diversify, include, and guarantee equity for minorities. But it was all about the rainbow. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about black people. Yes, you have a few black people who are going to lose some.
It wasn't about black people. And you likely, and you know what, Reese, you were likely arguing with a black woman who chose to listen to black men. That's what. Now, here's the thing. I ain't gonna be falling for the okie doke of nothing black men do because I don't take black men seriously. They haven't proven as of lately that their opinion is worth me caring about. I don't care about their opinions. I value their opinions as just as much as I value them, which I view them as expendable, cowardly, nothing ass bitches. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now. And it will be that way until they prove differently. I don't care how much they cry. Go cry in your box on the side of the road that your dumb ass is going to be living in. Because you want to sit here and think something that did benefit you didn't benefit you just because raggedy ass Umar Johnson crying that the government won't give him money just because he says it.
Some DEI benefits. But we are 42 million. And when we add our African immigrant brothers and sisters in, we're about 45, 48. I'm going to round it up because they always suppress our numbers. I'm going to round it up to 50 million Africans in America. Somebody help me understand how Barack Obama's DEI has benefited Black people in these past 16 years. Help me understand.
Was DEI more important than civil rights, or was DEI a part of civil rights? Which is why DEI and civil rights both went. What do you think is going to happen when now, rather than you having equal opportunity employment, now you do not have equal opportunity employment? So a lot of y'all are about to see how dumb it is to listen to Black men. Equal opportunity employment was rolled back. Yep, I told you DEI is the civil rights movement. Again, over here, we know what we talking about. Over here, we actually go read stuff. That's why over here, we weren't paying any attention to Black men lying about a child support bill because we knew he was lying. The reason we knew he was lying because we went and we searched and we did the research and we read Donald Trump's child care plan. Donald Trump does not have a child support plan. It is a child care plan where child support was one of the forms of child care, and it had nothing to do with anything pertaining to child support except the enforcement of it. So the reason y'all never saw CNG come up here and address this lie that Black men was telling is because she already knew it was a lie because she wouldn't fact checked. So me being up here today is to drag them for lying, not to act surprised that they were lying. I been knew they were lying because I went and looked it up. Soon as I saw the first raggedy video of a bandit doing it, I went and looked it up because I know bandits are liars. They don't read, they lie. Bandits lie. They're not going to why would they tell you the truth as a Black woman? Why would you think as a Black woman that they are telling you the truth? You should just naturally assume everything that they say is a lie because 100% of the time it is a lie. If bandits are breathing, they're lying, especially if it has something to do with money and Black women and children. They lie the most in that regard. So I don't ever believe anything the bandits say, so therefore I would never give in to anything the bandits do. On day one, when this bandit started this lie, I clocked it as a lie. Add to that the fact that Donald Trump said he's getting rid of the IRS completely. So you just wouldn't be stupid enough to believe anything referencing a tax credit if your president said he getting rid of taxes completely. And you're believing something about a child tax credit because you're listening to a lying ass, bandit ass bitch. That would just be on you. If you dumb enough to believe them, you dumb enough to believe them. And what Umar is saying is a lie, yet Black women are in here believing them. Look, I agree. I thought I was the only one. People are making this a black and white thing, but it was really introduced for rainbow inclusion. Just done. Exactly. Now she got some sense. People, please do not take this man's word and run with it. Do some research. This absolutely helped us in several areas, but because people trust him so much, they don't fact check. And because Black men don't want to do anything anyway, they will co-sign this message. And look, DEI benefited people of color, aka not Black Americans, LGBTQ, and women. This is an issue of ignorance here. Because if DEI didn't benefit you, then that means that you've spent this whole last 60 years being in Jim Crow and your dumbass was too stupid to realize you weren't even in it. So y'all are going to say you've been living in Jim Crow for the last 60 years? Because if DEI didn't benefit Black people, then you are still in Jim Crow. That's what that means. The removal of the Civil Rights Bill, including DEI, which is a part of the Civil Rights Bill, that would then mean you are back in Jim Crow if they choose to put you back in Jim Crow. The Civil Rights Bill was a response to segregation and economic stagnation. That's what it was. But in addition to that, there were no protection laws, so you would have just got strung up on a tree. You would have just been lynched in public. Why haven't we seen a lynching of Black men if DEI didn't benefit people, didn't benefit Black people? Why haven't we been witnessing lynchings? Picnics, the original picnics. Why haven't we been experiencing those if DEI didn't benefit Black people? Just dumb. Just dumb. And look, all of them is sitting up here just, oh, DEI benefited people of color. Now, I expect this from dumb bandits. They struggle the most with illiteracy. But for Black women who have been severely disenfranchised continuously by Black men's lies, I don't know why you're still listening to them. This is looking like an intellectual problem that we're having. That's what it's giving. It's giving you got a learning disability. If you still listening to Black men, it's strongly giving you have a learning disability, and you might want to look into that. You might want to go get you a 504 plan if you still can, because it sounds like you need one if you still listening to Black men. You probably need an IEP too if you still listening to Black men. You should go get your intellectual level checked if you're still listening to Black men, because that means you ain't learned a damn thing. Like, how do you be Black people and you the only group of people who have a history of being on the plantation, but you also sitting up talking about, oh, DEI doesn't benefit Black people, then why ain't your dumb ass still on a plantation? Why ain't you still in Jim Crow then? Why can you walk into a Kroger or a Myers? Why can you walk into them? Why can you have your dumb ass sitting on Instagram telling lies if DEI don't benefit you? If you a woman, how are you working and DEI does not benefit you? Black women are more employed than Black men, so it looks like DEI benefits Black women quite a bit. Black women have more degrees than Black men, so it sounds like you've utilized DEI to access higher education. Sounds like DEI benefits Black women quite a bit. And if it didn't benefit Black men, it's because they were too stupid to figure out how to benefit from civil rights, just like they're too stupid to figure out how to benefit from patriarchy. That they running around, can't even meet the standards of patriarchy, but they still benefit from it. And they too dumb to extract these benefits. Right. Coco said, if you're listening to Black men, please admit yourself to the nearest psychiatric unit. And you really should be sitting up in front of a panel of therapists to figure out why you still listening to these fell-ass males. Ain't succeeded at nothing but nesting and lying, because they've been able to brainwash Black women through their lies. So they're successful nesters. They're successful nothing-ass bitches. They're successful cowards. That's it. That's all. Though they're the only thing they succeeded at is being weak as hell.
Affirmative action is not the same as DEI. Affirmative action was destroyed by George Bush in the opening years of the 21st century. He destroyed it. The Supreme Court destroyed it.
Now, you ain't seen no stats. Umar ain't gave you no comparative stats. He didn't even give you a date when affirmative action was supposedly destroyed. He didn't tell you how affirmative action is a part of DEI, because affirmative action is a part of civil rights, and DEI is a part of civil rights. So this is the same man who set up on Fox Soul talking about there's a war against black men, but could only mention what was happening in the 60s, and y'all still listening to him. And then as a way to not admit that he a lying ass bitch, he decided to lie on Fox Soul, and y'all just let him lie. Umar Johnson is a liar, and I proved to everyone how much of a liar he was on Fox Soul. But no one wanted to pay attention because we over here to worship some cowardly losers, though. Yeah, like this man is literally just sitting in a video saying stuff. He ain't showed y'all no proof. He's telling you that DEI didn't benefit you when DEI is the civil rights bill. Just dumb.
Affirmative action has not been a governmental priority since Lyndon Baines Johnson. Affirmative action has been dead. Affirmative action been dead. That's why Barack Obama called it diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action?
So because they relabeled something, so because they changed the name of, rebranded something, which is what people do. People rebrand all the time. So because DEI and because affirmative action was rebranded to DEI, now Umar Johnson is saying, "Oh, affirmative action never worked." He ain't gonna prove it to you though. He's not gonna give you no stats. He ain't gonna give you no data. He ain't gonna give you a damn thing to back up anything that he's saying. He's just going to say it. And then black women, and I'm gonna mention black women because you the most disenfranchised by these bandits. Oh, black women go for it. Like they going for it in the comments. Because of course, if a black man say it, it must be true, right?
Action. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? I'll tell you why Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action. Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action because he didn't want it associated with black people. He didn't want it associated with black people. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it again for the Kunak.
This is a man who's too dumb to realize that DEI and civil rights bill are the exact same thing. These bandits can't even correctly identify something that they said they fought for. Black men said they fought for the civil rights bill, yet there's a black man up here denouncing what he fought for because he does not understand that civil rights bill and DEI is the same thing. And black people are going for the day, like the dumb goof troop. Like, how long are you going to be the goof troop and sit around looking goofy and dumb as hell talking about the civil rights bill didn't benefit you? Mind you, you're not in Jim Crow, but the civil rights bill didn't benefit you. You send your dumb ass up on Instagram. You think Mark Zuckerberg will hire you willingly? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg would have you on his platform benefiting unless he has to? No, he doesn't have to, so he's not going to. And you're going to see real soon just how much the civil rights bill actually did benefit you. And it's too bad that you got out. The only group of people who've been enslaved in this country seem to be the dumbest when it comes to oppression. Just dumb. Just dumb. So you don't know that the civil rights bill meant the end of Jim Crow? You don't know that? You don't know that that has more? It's not just about you getting a job? Because black men ain't gonna go out there and physically fight nothing but women's weaves. That's the only thing black men want to physically fight is black women and their aesthetics and their cosmetics. Those are the only people black men go fight. They not go square up to no man. They not go fight for no rights. They get to lay down with white women. To them, they got everything they need. And black women sitting up here listening to this nonsense. I'm not about to continue with Umar Johnson's lies. I just want y'all to see that he indeed is sitting up there talking about DEI didn't benefit black people. Use a damn lie. The civil rights bill did benefit black people. It ain't no more. Kendo said, I remember Miss Sanji when you were on Tammy Mac Foxhole as a black man. Ladies, y'all are worthy and beautiful. Okay, thank you. Now let's get into this next lie that black women just fell for. And I know they fell for it because there was a bunch of black women that came to me and asked me to talk about this, and I wasn't going to do it because there's no point. I'm not going to address lies. Like I'm not. I'm going to tell you to go look it up because we need to get into the habit of doing the research on our own. This is why I tell you, don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Yeah, girl, just saying, ain't nobody about to sit here and listen to black men and they lies. I ain't got the time. Go lie to who's willing to believe your dumbass lies. This is the bandit who, mind you, I want y'all to see how disgusting and diabolical this is. I really want y'all to understand how nasty this is. This is not a joke. This is a man who did this literally right when the Civil Rights Bill is getting repealed. This disgusting bandit decides to start a child support rumor so that he can make fun of black women. And look, millions of people, and he's going to tell you millions of people believed me. I had to prove nothing. This is the problem with your people. This is a huge problem with American citizens. Huge problem. Believe in anything that they told. Believe in whatever that comes down the pipeline. First of all, obviously y'all don't even know the child tax credit rules. Y'all clearly don't even understand them, because in order to get a child tax credit, you have to certify to the IRS and prove that you provide 50% of the support, at least 50% of the support for the child. There are very few black men who can do that. Sam, did you see that Becky, who voted for Trump, fall for this too? What does that matter though? Because I hear a very different conversation coming from Becky. Let me do a sidebar and let y'all understand something. Something that black women don't understand about white women. White women move very strategically. You actually should be taking notes. Again, even if you don't like something about somebody, you should be looking at what you do like about them and seeing how you can employ that same skill and it will benefit you. White women are very calculated. They are very strategic. They know how to weaponize weakness, and they know how to make somebody think that they're in control when really she is. This is something black women need to study. They are very cunning. So while you may think that they are voting against their interests, they are not. They are not. White male dominance gives white women dominance. They can't get it from anybody else. So of course, they're going to work. Of course, they go vote to maintain the white male power structure. Where do you think they get their power from? They get it from white men. However, just because they vote for Donald Trump, does that mean that they don't know Donald Trump want to put policies in to disenfranchise them? No, it doesn't. They know he planned to, and they plan to fight it. They plan to fight it. That's why they have no problem voting for Donald Trump, because white women know, I'm just going to push back on what he's doing. I'm going to push back on what he's doing. You think they're going to let them force them into giving birth? Please. Then you need to. I realize a lot of black people don't live around white people. I have them in my family by way of my black brothers. I've lived around them, went to school primarily with them, had them as friends, worked right next to them. I promise you, the only reason they will vote for Donald Trump is one. Here's the thing. Kamala Harris does not represent white male power. That's not what Kamala Harris is. Kamala Harris for white women is the end of white male power. They get no benefit power-wise from having a non-white female president. They ain't getting no power from that. They couldn't. But if they continue to vote in favor of white male dominance, then they can maintain white female dominance. You see how that works? Because I'm going to show y'all something, and I'm going to tell you where white women's head is at. It's in the opposite place that black women's are. So we going to play who do you think is going to get further. That's what we about to do. We about to play a game of who do you think is going to get further, white women or black women. Part of it is about race. Most of it is about mindset. Most of it is about mindset. Yes, a lot of it is about race, obviously. If there is a white male power structure, white women are automatically going to have power. But when it comes to progression of women's rights, oh, you can best believe white women are about to run circles around black women because they have the right mindset. Black women don't start movements. Black women start concepts. They start concepts, and then white women turn it into a movement because white women said, we're only going to worship these men to the extent that it benefits us to do so. Black women said, I'm going to worship any man and it don't matter. I'm still going to worship him. And white women are like, no, I don't think we should worship men unless it's going to benefit us. Black women are the exact opposite. I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to be his ride or die. I'm going to build him up. I'm going to stick by him no matter how disloyal he is. I'm going to let him demean me and degrade me publicly. And white men are saying we couldn't do these things because white women wouldn't even give birth to us. You have two different groups of women, two different mindsets. Obviously, one is going to get further based on their mindset than the other group. Yep, black women see themselves in black men. White women see themselves in whatever benefits them. Just saying it is for free. They give it out for free. Black women will lay their lives. Black women will give their lives to black men for free. There is zero group of women on the planet who have the mindset that black women do. There is none. Mixed women, biracial women, largely don't even have the mindset that black women do. And that's because most of them are not raised by black women. They're raised by women of no color. That's who they raised by, white women, because most of their mothers are white. So you will see more even biracial women having a different mindset than black women because of their white mother. Jess Lee said they'll do it, cry, get sympathy, then you're done. It's their tears, gets you in deep shit. Again, they know how to weaponize weakness. Black women only want to be the strong woman. And that's fine. Be the strong woman, but do that work in a patriarchy though. Because yeah, of course, the males that you deal with are weak, but that don't really work in a patriarchy. You need to know how to weaponize weakness. That's what you need to learn how to do. Timmy said most biracial women have a different mindset than us because they were raised differently. Yeah, their mom is white. Exactly. Yeah, that's why. And really, that's why black men prefer biracials with white mothers, because they know, yeah, she may have a tan, she may have a black daddy, but she's going to think like a white woman. She will behave like a white woman. Did you see the clip of Funky Dineva saying he never wants to be a woman because he has male privilege? That means he's telling the truth. So then he's telling the truth. Let me play this video for y'all so you can see how diabolical, nasty, and disgusting this is. TikTok creator admits to making a viral story about President Donald Trump preventing child support recipients from claiming children on tax returns. So, while they're rolling back your civil rights bills and essentially putting you back in Jim Crow, black men are trying to figure out how they can manipulate black women into not putting them on child support. Mind you, black women are already the least likely to put them on child support. Even though their preferences are the most likely to put them on child support, do you think they running around shaming their preferences for putting them on child support? No, because that's their preference. And they don't want to lose access to them. But they sure are lying to black women, and black women eating it up, believing it, refusing to do research. Let's listen to him.
That Trump child support stuff, I made it up. I made it up 6 days ago. It's going viral. My video alone has 12 million on TikTok and 1 million on Instagram. But I was just making it up in my car because I said, have y'all heard Trump just passed, I said, I'm paraphrasing, but I said, Trump just tweeted that if you pay child support, the baby daddy get income tax. What? And I said that, and all of a sudden, then I went wildfire. I'm saying duplicates of the video, people using my sound, some people just creating their own narrative of it, but it's fake. He didn't pass nothing. It's a good conversation that everybody having, but it's fake. So I just want y'all to know I'm the original person that did that. I was playing around. Thank y'all for the conversation, the dialogue. You can go check it out, like I said, on my TikTok or on my Instagram. I pinned it, so it's like the top video, and it's people just tick off. So don't believe it; it's fake. Ha ha! That Trump child support stuff. Oh my God! Trump just tweeted: if you put your baby daddy on child support, that the baby daddy now gets all of the income tax.
Here's the thing, though, because this says more about the Black community than him. He said Donald Trump just tweeted. Where's the tweet, though? Even though this man said Donald Trump tweeted something, did he have to show the tweet in the video? Did he show the tweet in the video, or did he just say there was a tweet? Because it sounds like he just said there was a tweet, but nobody asked him to provide the tweet. The man just got up here and said, did y'all see what Donald Trump just tweeted? Nobody went to go look and see what Donald Trump tweeted. And millions of people jumped on it and decided to believe it. So y'all can stop mentioning the Christian Crusades. Nobody has to force you to do anything. They don't have to force you to believe anything. They simply have to put it out there and you'll believe it. You will believe it. Since making the video, it has garnered over 12 million views, with many people actually believing the misinformation. Elston made another video saying that he was joking and that he was the source of the rumor. This man should be having at least 3 days in jail for this.
What? Oh my God, Trump just tweeted, if you put your baby daddy on child support, that the baby daddy now gets all of the income tax. What? Oh my.
Didn't show one tweet. Didn't show one tweet. This person said, and this is exactly how he won. Majority of the voters are uneducated and easily influenced. So who do you think is the most uneducated and the most easiest to influence? That would be, even though Black women are the most educated, they are still the easiest to be influenced, as long as the influencer is a Black man. As long as the influencer is a Black man, society can get Black women to do and believe anything. This is why, even though Black men don't attend church, most of the pastors are Black males. Because Black women will follow them blindly. Black women will believe what they say, and Black women will throw money at them. This man didn't even have to show a tweet. He didn't even have to prove that a tweet existed, and millions of people, mostly Black, decided they was going to believe this. Look, I saw too many deadbeats excited about this information, and I bet you she didn't go look it up. It took me one time seeing a video. I didn't see his video. I saw somebody else promoting this. And immediately my brain said, let me go find out what Donald Trump's child care plan is. And let me read it. And I read it in its entirety. It said nothing of the sort. And I was like, okay, let me see how long Black people will allow this lie to circulate before somebody go research it and say, this is a lying ass bitch. And nobody did it. Nobody did it. They just believed it and sucked it up. That was it. All he needed to say it. And then he said, she's saying, baby, the deadbeat daddies were excited. But you're going to keep having children with the deadbeat daddies, though. Because if somebody say put your womb on lockdown because most of the bandits in your community is deadbeat daddies, you gonna start screaming genocide now, aren't you? Mind y'all, on that thought, I want to read something to y'all. This is a comment that I screen grabbed from a white woman. having a discussion, and I'm about to show y'all where they were having the discussion. This white woman said, "Dear women, it's in your hands to give birth to men or not. Men have no role. If they force KILL them and their seed inside the womb." So she's speaking the truth. If you choose not to give birth to them, then you just choose not to. Yeah, they can try to force you, but they will take out themselves in the process. They actually need you. Do you think that this white woman had a bunch of comments saying, "Oh, well, no, well, that's genocide. Well, no, we have to have white babies. Well, no, we can't do that." That's no, not one comment. Actually, the other white women agreed with her. They agreed with her. There are 0 comments under there, and I looked for them. There are 0 comments where anybody was telling her she's trying to genocide the white community. Not one person told her that. Not one person told her that. But every single time someone suggested that Black women stop creating useless bandits who hate them and toe tag them, that was the main thing. "Oh, well, no, we got to do it to the girls too." Well, no, we got to, then Black girls too. Well, no, then you ain't giving the girl to Black girls. That was Black women's response. Again, 2 different groups of women, 2 different mindsets. If y'all think white women's mindset ain't partially at least 50% why they have been able to progress, then you're sadly mistaken. White women's mindset is why you get to sit up here and work as a woman too. Because feminism, the movement, not the concept, the movement that white women started is why you get to work. It's why women were added to the Civil Rights Bill. That's why you get to work, because a group of women went through a suffrage movement. Mind you, that Black women, there is a misconception that Black women have dove into feminism. They have not. Black women shame feminism because Black men shame feminism. That's why Black women ain't doing no femicide movement, because it will require them to acknowledge that Black men are committing the acts of femicide. Do you think that white women would sit idly by if their men were waging a femicide war against them? No. We know they wouldn't. White men know they wouldn't, because I haven't seen videos of white women saying, "Oh, if white men act like Black men, we wouldn't give birth to them." I saw videos from white men saying it. White men were saying it. White men were saying we could not talk to white women like Black men talk to Black women, or these women would end us. They clearly did something to make these men feel like this behavior is not tolerable. And then white women showed it again when they snatched Andrew Tate's dumbass off the internet. Why? Because white women are smart enough to know a white woman gave birth to Andrew Tate, and nothing that comes out of my womb is about to sit on the internet and demean and degrade me. So they got his dumb ass off the internet because they said absolutely not. And guess what Black women did? They ran to Kevin Samuels, who was doing the same thing. 2 different groups of people. White women got their verbal abuser off the internet. Black women literally deified theirs. Black women are still running around talking about, "Oh, Kevin Samuels was right. Oh, he was right. Kevin Samuels was a failure. At least now as worm food, he's serving a purpose." Yeah, I said it. Get mad and cry with your weak ass. Kevin Samuels wasn't serving any purpose. Now he is. It's a good thing that he can serve a purpose in death that he did not serve in life. At least somebody is benefiting off of Kevin Samuels' existence. His ex-wife, both of them, and his daughter damn sure didn't. How do you uplift an abusive, failed ass male who didn't even and could not practice what he preached? But that was enough for Black women. He just got to be Black and male. That's it. Oh, he black and male, so let's just go listen to him because he is black and male, so that must mean he's right. Never mind the fact that he's verbally degrading us. Oh no, this is just constructive criticism. White women said, I don't give a damn if you telling the truth or not. You go get your ass off the internet saying it about us. White men simply backed white women, as they should. But white women got Andrew Tate off the internet. Because they said absolutely not. Nothing that comes out of my womb is about to be sitting up here telling me that I'm useless and undeserving. Because I just won't use my womb then. It is diabolical that the same thing that you birthing from your womb is the very thing that you whining and saying, oh, well, they're femiciding us. So at this point, black women have sent a very loud and very clear message that when it comes to them or black men, they choose black men. Sanji heard you straight from the gate. You said somebody tell the old Sanji who spoke against white supremacy, we will miss her. Let me tell you, that black male worshiper is dead and she will never return. So you can go grieve her if you want to, but she ain't coming back. That Sanji ain't coming back. She's dead and she's where she needs to be. She will not be coming back. Listen, mark my word, I will die before I ever defend black men again. I will die before I ever defend you. I will never defend black men again. Mark my words, I will meet my maker before I ever defend black men again. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Because in order for me to defend y'all, I either had to be ignorant or I had to be lying, and I was ignorant, and I don't dwell in ignorance, and I don't spread lies. So absolutely not. I will not lie for you. I will not lie and say you're good men when you're not. I won't lie and say you're useful men when you are expendable. You don't do anything. Ain't nobody about to lie for you. This band is set up here in the midst of the civil rights bill getting reversed and decided to troll black women. Because of course their greatest enemy is the one who gives birth to them, probably because you're lying to them, telling them they kings, but by the time they get into preschool, they're going to learn that they peasants. And you ain't connected the dots between that yet, have you? While you sitting up saying, oh, we're speaking life into them. No, you're speaking lies into them. You're speaking lies into them. You're telling them that they're kings and geniuses and coddling them and setting them off. You set them up for a false reality. They're not kings. They're not geniuses. They're weak ass bitches. That's what they are. And the world is going to see that they're weak ass bitches and they're going to respond to them being weak ass bitches. So why are you telling them that they kings? You're lying to them. You can't speak life into people by telling them lies. You're lying to them. And then when they get old enough, they thinking, oh, I thought I was a king. My mama coddled me. My mama did everything for me. But when I go out into the real world, don't nobody want to do nothing for me. I was told that I'm a king, but when I get into preschool, I'm being treated like a peasant. And it only continues up into my adulthood where I got to worry about either another person that looks like me, another black man taking me out, or another race of man taking me out. But either way, I'm going to get disenfranchised and taken out. And black women are birthing me into this on purpose. You think that black men at a certain age, they don't realize that you're knowingly birthing them into disenfranchisement and lying and telling them that they're kings? Oh, they know. Why do you think so many of them got mommy issues? What do you think a lot of those mommy issues are? That you done spoke lies into them. That's the only thing you're doing. You're speaking lies into them. You're not speaking life. You're speaking lies. And you're either going to be honest with them or don't give birth to them. But why are you lying to them? Why are you tricking them into thinking that they're going to get an outcome out of society that they're not? They're not kings. And you still lying to them. They're not kings. Now they don't even have civil rights. So are you going to keep lying to them? Are you going to keep lying to them under the guise of speaking life into them? Or are you going to admit that you've been lying? That you've been speaking lies into them? They're not kings, and you shouldn't be calling them kings. And they know damn well they ain't kings. You think these bandits don't know when they got a literal foot on their neck? You don't think they know they ain't no damn king? Kings don't get foots on their neck. Kings don't got to sit up here and run around saying no justice, no peace. Stop lying to them. They're not good men. They are not. Why are you lying to them and acting like they are husband material? Just admit that you're desperate. Because it's not that they're husband material, it's that you're desperate. And that you want male validation because you refuse to validate yourself. You refuse to do it. Naming your child king is cringe. Right. You got T.I. over there with a son named King. Do he look like a king, or is he getting treated like a peasant? Because they done lied to this man so much they named him something that he is not. How are you a king? Your name is king, but you on the bottom of the social totem pole. Y'all out here playing. Oh, I'm gonna name my son king because of course another black man ain't gonna come kill him. That's if he can live long enough without a black man coming and killing him. But you just gonna name your son king, and he running around here embodying nothing that has to do with king? Listen, the problem that black men have with me in my personal and non-personal life is that I won't lie to them. I'm not gonna tell you you're a king. You think if you're a problematic man and you come to me with a marriage proposal, you think I'm gonna say, oh, okay, he'll change when he's married? Nah, bitch, change first. Change first, and then I'll marry you. But if you ain't gonna change, you ain't gonna be in my life. Okay, y'all think a man can get away with telling me he ain't gonna change? Okay, let me plan my escape route then. I'm gonna let you be dusty on your own. If you are a poor performing nothing ass bitch, you're gonna know. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say, no, you need to do more. You need to go fight. I'm not gonna give birth to a black male because I already know I would be purposely and intentionally and knowingly birthing them into this society. Black women are the better investment. Would I have a female child? Absolutely, they are the best investment. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself because black women lie to themselves about black men. Black women won't acknowledge that these males are not fit to be fathers or husbands or community leaders. They're not, though. And they demonstrated that they're not. They've demonstrated they are not those dudes. Yeah, marriage doesn't change anything, but black women think it does. Black women think that if a cheating man, if she marries a cheating boyfriend, that he's going to be a faithful husband. No, if you married a cheating boyfriend, now you just got a cheating husband. That's how reality works. It doesn't work where you told this man that his cheating behavior is okay by marrying him and then he just stops cheating. That doesn't exist. No, if you marry a cheating boyfriend, you go get a cheating husband. It ain't gonna change. Yeah, Sophie B, to you, these bandits ain't got no kingdom. Most of them don't even have no house to live in except they mamas, but y'all still lying to them and telling them they king. I don't know one king that was on an air mattress in his mama's basement. I don't know one. I don't know no kings who don't own nothing. I don't know of no kings who don't have no resources. So this must be a new group of king, a new group of powerless, economically disenfranchised kings who have no power to do anything on their own and who need a woman to make them wear a condom so that they're protected from fatherhood, because they can't protect themselves from fatherhood either. And that's why they go tell you to go, well, she didn't make him put on a condom. Okay, well, if they pass this ejaculation bill, you do realize that's not going to be an excuse. Like the days of y'all saying she didn't make me wear a condom is dead and gone if they pass this no ejaculate, or conception begins at ejaculation. If they pass that bill, y'all can forget about telling somebody that nobody made you wear a condom. No. Those excuses are going out the door. No one cares if you weren't told to put on a condom. The question is, did you nut in this woman knowing she could get pregnant or not? Yeah, you did. So, and if you didn't, then you too stupid to be having sex. Ain't nobody about to listen to black men's dumbass excuses because they don't want to be men. Ain't nobody about to do that. If you had sex with the woman, you're taking accountability if they pass that bill. Let's get into this. Look, another thing from the grill. And look, this being out. Look, this report being out. It would have took a simple, small amount of research. This came out on January 21st, literally, second day after Donald Trump was inaugurated. That dumb bandit started a rumor. The grill literally fact-checked it and said it's not true. People still ran with it. They still ran with it. And this was published on January 21st. Second day, literally, for the most part, the first real day of Donald Trump's presidency, because the inauguration is just a party. That doesn't count. This is the day that he was signing. This is within 24 hours. A bandit had already had a damn lie. A bandit had already mass circulated a lie within 24 hours of Donald Trump being sworn in. And here go a bandit trolling black women. Because, of course, the worst thing they want to do with a most active father ass is pay child support for their kid. Because they're so actively involved. Of course, they got a gripe against child support because they're the most active fathers. So, of course, you got to go put an active father on child support. I don't know why anybody would do that, because if you already paying, you already paying. Put a 1 in the chat box if there's some women that you just can't convince to put black men on child support, because I'm one of those women to where if you don't take care of your kid voluntarily, without a question, you're going on child support. And that's not me saying I'm going to give you months to be inconsistent. You got one time to be inconsistent and I'm putting you on child support, period. And just don't have a kid with me then. If you don't like that, then you better make sure you're wearing a condom, because I'm going to let you know I am not one of those women that is going to deter putting you on child support. I will not. The only way I won't put you on child support is if you already actively financially providing for your kids. If you getting on child support, I care nothing about black men's gripe with the system. I couldn't care less. That's between you and the system. What I'm seeing over here is a man who don't want to consistently take care of his kid. I'm not about to play those games with you. You either go be consistent or you on child support. It's that simple. It's really that simple. I'm not going to argue with you over it. I'm not about to argue with a black man or any man over his responsibility to his child. You either go pay the money or you get on child support. And it doesn't matter. I can have $50 million in the bank. I'm still putting you on child support. I'm still putting you on child support. The only thing you can do to not be on child support is to support your child voluntarily. The minute that you don't do that, you got 1 month to miss and you on child support. That's all you got. And I don't care what no black man is saying. Oh, well, you will either do it voluntarily or the system. Listen, you got a gripe with the system. Okay, fight the system. Fine, do that. But otherwise, it's falling on deaf ears over here. You think I give a damn about a black man's gripe with child support? Wear a damn condom then, bandit. Get a vasectomy. There's options. You got 2 of them. You only need 1. If you ain't utilizing it, it's falling on deaf ears. You going on child support. It's that simple. Donna Dash said exactly, men need to be held responsible. Women will tell me if I have money, why would I put them on it? Why wouldn't you put them on it? It's not about your money. It's about giving your child the full life that they deserve. That man laid up with you and put his bodily fluids into your body, so you paying the damn bill. It just is what it is. With me, it is what it is. And even if I don't get the child support, I'm still going to put you on it. I'm still going to put you on it, because understand, Sin's never going to allow herself to be in a position where she needs a man. No, me needing the money ain't a question. Your kid needs the money. The money ain't for you as an adult. All you're doing is neglecting your child. No, that grown ass man who's the leader laid up and helped create a child, his dumb ass need to pay for it. I'm putting you on child support. It just is what it is. It is what it is. You can act stupid if you want to. You can withhold your raggedy ass, absentee father ass dick if you want to. You can go find whatever hood rat you want. You still going on child support. It's like you're still gonna go on child support. You can call it bitter. You can call it retaliation. Okay, all that's cool. You still going on child support. You said all of that. And I'm still at the child support office. Actually, I ain't going to even go to the child support office. I'm going to get an attorney because I don't want to have to do all that work. So I'm just going to give it to the appropriate attorney and say, do your thing. Get this man on child support, because an attorney got more legal resources than I do. So even if you try to hide something, an attorney can find it. So I'm going to go ahead and get an attorney, even if you only give him $40 a week. Okay, you go give those $40 though. You go give that $40. You just go give it. Really, what's going on is the changes they made to child support has to do with the enforcement of child support, meaning how the man pays and what will be done if he does not pay. That's what the child support modification was. It's about the enforcement of it. But do you think bandits cared about that? No, they just created a lie. Look, they said it's been 24 hours since Donald Trump was officially sworn into the offices as the 47th U.S. president, and a dumbass bandit is lying already. That's what they meant to say. They meant to say a raggedy ass bandit is lying anyway, because the only person who would think about doing this is a raggedy ass bandit. Storm said, yeah, $30 and it's topped off at 87 weekly. Just a damn Jane. What? Hold on. I don't know how women are standing for this. So these bandits are only paying you complaining about 80, you broke ass, nothing ass bitches are complaining. You high value, most active father ass bitches are complaining about $87 a week. I don't like no cheap ass bitch. I don't like cheap bitches. I don't. I can't stand cheap. If you cheap, you're going to have to get your ass home. You're cheap if you have a problem with $87 a week in this damn so it's under $100. You ain't even paying $400 a month for your damn kids, and you think somebody giving you a child tax credit worth thousands of dollars? Get your raggedy absentee ass out of here, bum. Please show me the white or Asian man in a video making up lies. Can anybody please send me any video of a white or Asian man getting in a video lying about child support? Of course, it's going to be a black ass bandit. Yeah, I heard about Cheryl Underwood, but right now we talking about bandits. Like we not. If I was gonna talk about Cheryl Underwood, I don't care about nothing she's saying about marriage. I'm not gonna listen to black women talk about marriage. I'm just not. I wouldn't take marriage advice from black women. I'm not gonna listen to black women talk about marriage. In addition to religion, because black women are not honest. The three areas where black women lie the most is when it comes to religion, it's when it comes to black men, and when it comes to marriage. Therefore, I'm not listening to black women talk about any of those things because they're going to lie. They're going to lie, they're going to male worship, and they go get on my nerves. So I'm not going to listen to black women give marriage advice or talk about how to get married. I won't listen to black women say that. I won't. I'm not going to listen to a black woman when it comes to black men because they're going to lie. They go try to tell you they kings. They go try to tell you that black men are wounded warriors. No, they're nothing as bitches. So I'm not going to listen to you talk about a black man unless you're telling the truth. I'm also not going to listen to black women talk about religion. They're going to lie to validate their dumbass decision to take on an ideology that says they're inferior. And I'm just not going to do it. If you are a Christian, you should be okay with being a slave. This is all I have to say. And this is all I'm ever going to say about it. If you are a Christian as a black woman, then you should have zero problem with slavery. You shouldn't. So I'm not about to listen to Cheryl Underwood. I will play her video where she's saying bandits only get undesirable throwbacks. I'll play that one. I was going to do it anyway, but I'm not going to listen to no black woman talk about marriage. I'm just not going to. First of all, you the least married. Second of all, your marriages play out the most raggedy of any marriages. And third, you're known for being desperate and doing anything to be married because you worship marriage. So therefore, you're too biased for me to listen to. I'm not doing it. I will listen to zero black women talk about marriage. I'm just not going to do it. I sure won't. I sure won't. I'm not going to. No offense to black women. I love black women. I will continue to advocate for black women. I will continue to defend black women. I got a feeling in the next 4 years, I'm going to be defending black women a whole lot. So I will never give up on black women, but I'm not dealing with you when it comes to marriage, black men, or religion. I'm just not. Those are 3 areas I will not deal with a black woman on. None of them. None of them. Because even with Cheyenne Bryant, I wouldn't listen to her either because her whole thing is, I don't want to be a statistic. But ma'am, you are a statistic though. Ma'am, you're 40 and you're unmarried. So you're a statistic. This is why I'm saying even the educated and qualified black women cannot get rid of their desperation to be seen as better. They just can't do it. And that's why Cheyenne Bryant is over there like, well, I didn't have a kid and I'm not mad. I didn't have a kid because I didn't want to be a baby mama. I don't want to be a statistic. Meanwhile, she's still a damn statistic. Exactly, Jay. Every one of the statistics. She's a statistic just because she's a black woman in society. You're a statistic there. If she has her private practice, she's a statistic. So black women run around here and they chase social status. They don't chase quality. They're chasing somebody's opinion. And I ain't got time for it. I can give a damn. I care less about being a statistic. When I have a child, it will be out of wedlock. 100%, I will never have a child in wedlock because it's harder for women when they have children in wedlock. They want you to think it's easier. It's actually harder. So therefore, I'm only willing to have children out of wedlock. Mind you, I'm not saying I won't get married. I'm not going to marry the man I have a kid by. Absolutely not. I'm not going to give you more legal control than you deserve. I'm not. And if you have a kid in wedlock, you are giving that man control over you and your kids, and I ain't doing it. It is harder for married women with children when the relationship ends. I'm saying when because it's going to. When the marriage ends, dealing with your kids is going to be exponentially harder because now that man got power too. And they don't got power. And the thing is, they got more power over those kids than a baby daddy would. So that means your ex-husband about to give you a bigger headache than your baby daddy would. And I'm not about to do it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to. Judge and say whatever you want to. You can throw baby mama. You can throw single mother. Okay, that's fine. I'll absorb all of them. I would prefer to be any of those than asking a man's permission to take my kid off the state, though. I would prefer to be called a baby mama than to have to get on the phone with a bitter ass ex-husband who don't want me to take my kid out that state, or who don't want me to change my kid's school, or who's going to weaponize the fact that now you need his damn permission for anything. I'm not doing that. You can do whatever you want to, November. You can exit stage left. The only bastard in here is you. You are the bastard child. So you can go ahead and ease your ass on down the road. Show November's raggedy ass the way out. I don't know who showed you the way in, but you go ease your ass on down the road. All the way out of here. The best thing Ebony K. Williams could have done for herself is go get some sperm and have a baby and don't have a man tied to it. That's the best thing Ebony K. Williams could have done. It is way easier to cut off a bitter baby daddy than it is to cut off a bitter ex-husband. I'll say it again. It's way easier to deal with a bitter baby daddy than it is to deal with a bitter ex-husband. It is way easier. If your baby daddy is your ex-husband, you about to get the largest headache, go ask Jeannie Mai. You think Jeannie Mai having an easy time with her bitter baby daddy because that was her ex-husband? Raise your hand if you think Jeannie Mai is having an easy time navigating the end of her marriage with this kid to this bandit. Because this bandit is able to move the way he's able to move because he's her ex-husband. So she's his legal property. She is legal property. And he giving her the biggest headache ever. That man giving her the biggest headache ever. Jeannie Mai probably stay with a headache. Miss Tiffany said, but Jeannie thought Jeezy was such a prize. No, she didn't. She thought he was an easy bag. Jeannie Mai did not think Jeezy was a prize. She thought he was a sucker to be licked. That's what Jeannie Mai thought. Jeannie Mai thought she could get a bag. That's what Jeannie Mai said. Jeannie Mai said, I'm about to get a bag off this bandit. Y'all think I came here? You think I'm having a baby for free? Jeannie Mai said, no, I'm going to tell this bandit what he want to hear, which is that I'm going to submit. That's what Jeannie said. Jeannie said, if this bandit think that he going to get some submission out of me, he sadly mistaken. But Jeannie Mai said, I will tell him. I'll tell the world that I'm going to submit to him, but I ain't. No, Jeannie Mai didn't think she was special. She just realized she wasn't a black woman. Jeannie Mai's issue wasn't that she thought she was special. Freddie Hartiz let her know that she wasn't special. Jeannie thought she ain't black. Storm said, remember when they said black women need to be submissive like Jeannie? Yep. Because Jeannie knew how to weaponize weakness. Jeannie Mai weaponized weakness against Jeezy. Jeannie Mai let Jeezy think that she was going to submit to him. She told the whole world before she got married to him. Because she already know black men, they don't have no power. They are obsessed with submission. So she said, okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to sell this Asian submissiveness to this bandit and watch how I flip soon as this marriage license gets signed. And Jeezy told y'all, Jeannie Mai ain't submissive. She's very aggressive and non-submissive. Jeannie Mai sold Jeezy the lie that she was submissive so she could get the marriage that she wanted. She wanted the marriage. Jeannie Mai said, I don't want to be a baby mama. I'll leave it to black women to be a baby mama. And that's where she was stupid at. because she didn't realize marriage ain't gonna stop you from being a baby mama, especially when you having a baby by a black man. Yeah, she played him. Victoria's one, she played him because she played him, but then he kind of played her too. But at the end of the day, Jeezy still had to give Jeannie Mai a payout. He still had to give her a payout, and he still got to pay child support too. Tiffany said everybody knew Jeannie Mai was aggressive. Hold on, because I lost your comment. Everybody knew Jeannie was aggressive except for the doo-doo bird. Yeah. Yeah, because black men get drunk off of, oh, she gonna submit to me. She gonna submit. Ain't nobody about to submit to you. You're dumb for thinking that somebody is gonna submit to you. The only people, like, other women will pretend to submit to you. Black women, the only one who's sitting around thinking about submitting to nothing ass bandits. Like, they don't even have anything to submit to. I'm trying to figure out what the hype is around these bandits. Please, somebody do tell. What is the hype about them? Oh yeah, there's no hype. Anyway, there's no hype. There's just black male worship. So let's get into white women's minds here, because I want to show y'all something. Because this is what you do when you move in silence. You understand that yeah, there's a certain structure that I need to maintain. White women are looking and saying there's a certain structure that I need to maintain because my power is funneled through that structure. That structure is called white male dominance. So white women said, I'm going to maintain my power by way of constantly supporting white male power, but I'm going to push back on this patriarchy. White women said, okay, that's fine. Sure. Come in and think you go start Project 2025 that we go push back on. Because to white women, voting for Trump isn't really anything because they go fight what he do anyway. They go fight it anyway. But this is your problem here that women are not looking at. This is your problem. This is the root cause of your problem. Now, I understand that y'all allowed men to brainwash you into thinking that you are an incubator. I know you allowed men to brainwash you to think that they possess the seed. I know men brainwash you to believe that they sperm and a sperm alone is sparking life in your dead womb, although a dead womb is an infertile one. So I don't know how anybody will believe that, but black women apparently out here believing it. However, men already know that their survival 100% comes from you. They already know that their only chance of survival is you. They know that. So when they see by 2030, 45% of women aged 25 to 44 will be single and child free, to them, they see this as by 2030, my survival will be deeply disenfranchised. They're looking at this as their survival. Men need women to want to be with them in order for them to survive. We already know that they switched it via religion, but they're very parasitic. Let me explain to you how. Because when you see data comes out that says a man's life, his life, the quality of his life increases when he's with a woman, but her life diminishes, that means you're dealing with a parasitical situation. Then you're dealing with a parasitical situation then. If one person's life is being dramatically increased and the other one is being depleted, then you have a parasitical dynamic. You have a parasitical dynamic then. It means one is feeding off the other one. So how can these men feed off you if you're single? If you don't want to be attached to them, then they have a problem. They have a problem if you don't want to be attached to them. Because if you don't want to be attached to them, then that probably means that you ain't gonna birth them. That would be the logical conclusion that you would come to. The logical conclusion as the male that you would come to is, if woman doesn't want to be attached to me, then her not wanting to give birth to me is going to follow very close behind that. It's just common sense. If they don't want to be attached to me unless you black, then they ain't gonna want to give birth to me. And that's what white women are driving this. This is being driven by white women because, again, black women will talk, black women will create the concept, but they won't put the movement behind it. Black women will put zero movement behind anything that they talk about, and this is the problem. White women will allow black women to talk about it, knowing that they're going to put no movement behind it. And then white women will say, hey, let me put some movement behind this concept here. It's a good concept. Let me put some movement behind it. Black women don't understand the concept of an ally because they're too focused on getting friends. You have a common goal and a common interest with white women. You have one. You have a common interest with white women. White women can help you fulfill this interest. Do you think black women are going to join up with white women? No, because black men told them not to. No, because black men have shunned it, even though you have a common interest with them. You have a common interest with white women. They have a proven track record of taking your concept, turning it into a successful movement that produces results. White women have gotten results, black women have not. The reason why white women has gotten results, half of it is because of their whiteness. The other half is because of the way they think. Because of the way they think is 50%, is the other half of the coin of why they have progress. One is because they're white. The other is because of how they think and their willingness to put movement behind their concepts. Black women are not willing to put any movement behind their concepts. Case in point, black women have been talking about black femicide. What movement have they put behind it? I'll wait for y'all to tell me about the movement and the action that black women put behind talking about black femicide. Yeah, allies are not friends. It's just that you have a mutual goal that you need to accomplish. And you would summon, if you're smart, you would summon your allies on a whim. White women know that there is a shared interest here. Why do you think there's white women making these videos? Because they know you have a common interest here. Are they your friends? No, and they don't need to be. They don't need to be your friend. You don't need to be somebody's friend to utilize their beneficial traits. You just have to be smart. So white women are saying, we have a common interest with black women. How can we get black women, use black women for a mutually beneficial agenda? Doesn't mean you have to be friends with them. It doesn't mean you have to be their friends. It means both of you have a common goal. There is power in numbers. Both of you have a common goal. So you would get out of your feelings and you would think about, how can I utilize their willingness to put action behind something? How can I utilize that to my benefit? Roro said, I disagree. I feel this new generation of black women will stand on business. Yeah, and that's probably because black women lead with delusion and fantasy, and you're probably leading with delusion and fantasy. I'm looking at what black women are saying and doing, and they're giving no indication that they plan to stand on business. Put a 1 in the chat box if you really honestly believe that black women are doing something to show the world that they go stand on business. Bandits don't even take you seriously. What do you mean? Black women have never stood on business. That's the whole point of the discussion, is that white women stand on business, black women don't. Black women talk. They don't stand on business because they ain't gonna turn it into a business. That's why I'm telling you, if you are afraid to put the action behind your concepts, then join with an ally and have them do it. Then have them do it and say, I will back you in this action that you're putting towards here because I'm known for only talking. Black women ain't gonna go from only talking to standing on business. If you had a record of standing on business, the dumbass bandits in your community would be acting like it. So this is the time to admit that as Black women, we have not stood on business. We have not. We haven't stood on our business. We definitely haven't. So I don't know where you getting any indication of Black women standing on business. I ain't seeing it. Bandits ain't seeing it either. You have allies here with a common interest. Black men ain't about to get your back. So you need to be smart. No one's saying be friends, be allies. Of course, it's the same concept at work. If you've worked for any big corporation, you are put into groups and you are made to complete a certain task. I ain't looked at none of them as my friend. I ain't looked at none of them as my friends. What I've looked at them as is these are people that I have to accomplish this goal with. It wasn't an emotional thing. It's we need to accomplish a goal. And then we all disperse and we go home. Black women are not known for putting in action. White women are. So let their strengths complement your weakness. That's what you should be doing. That's how you move strategically. You tune out bandits and you link up with the real savages of the world. I'm telling y'all. Listen, I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on them. I'm telling you, the worst you can do is sleep on them. The worst thing you can do is sleep on white women. I'm telling you, I grew up around them. Don't sleep on them. If you sleep on them, it will be. White men ain't sleeping on them. They know who the real savages are. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. These are the ones that are real cunning. When they say be cunning like a fox, that's these ladies here. That's these ladies. You want somebody cunning like a fox, that is them. I'm telling you. If they gotta cry, if they gotta scream grape, if they gotta do whatever, they go get their goal accomplished. They will get their goal accomplished. Ain't nobody say be friends. It's saying that you have an ally here. They see you as an ally. Or else they wouldn't be soliciting your help. The only reason bandits are telling you to back off is because they don't want you to get nothing done. Ain't nobody saying be friends with them. I'm saying you better use what you can use, how you can use it. And anybody who comes in here and tells you it's a bad idea is an idiot. Use who you can use. And that's the difference between you and them. These people will use whoever they got to. They don't care if you black. They don't care if you white. They don't care if you speak Spanish. They got to get something done. If they have to get something done, you don't think she gonna use whoever she need to? They gonna use whoever they need to. Because you definitely got a common goal here. But look at this. It says by 2030, 45% of women aged 25 to 44 in the U.S. could be single and child-free. That's why the patriarchy is panicking. It is. But instead of addressing the root cause of this phenomena, which would be the logical thing to do, such as cost of living, inadequate Medicare, male violence, unpaid labor, global warming, or simply personal choices, the patriarchy that is not illogical, that is wholly illogical, has chosen to exert control over women. This is not logical. You will always get further with mutual cooperation than exerting control. You will get further, you will benefit more from mutual voluntary cooperation. Exerting control is not an effective method when it comes to giving birth. Now, control is good in some situations. Forcing women to give birth is not one of them. This is wholly illogical. Even the thought that you can force someone to give birth is illogical. Because your infant mortality rate and your maternal mortality rate is going to skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket. The only thing by control, what you're going to get by control, is a very high maternal mortality rate and a high infant mortality rate. Black women on the plantation was babies. Do y'all think they had a low or a high infant mortality rate? You better go look at how high the infant mortality rate was on the plantation. Black women are in a patriarchy, but I agree they don't have a patriarchy, but we are in a patriarchy. I do agree with that. But the reality is, this is nonsensical. This right here is when you're panicking. You do this when you're panicking. You exert control when you're scared. This is a fear-based response. So men are showing you that they're having a fear-based response. But let me show you how delusional they are. But they're also delusional. And this is why you need to, let me show you the stage of the grief first, because I need you to look at something. I need you to understand where this level of denial is coming from. One of the first stages of grief, which comes when there is a loss. Grief is the emotional reaction that accompanies a loss. It can be any loss. Okay? It doesn't have to be loss of a relationship, just loss of something that is significant to you. One of the stages that you go into is called denial. It's denial, meaning you're going to deny what's happening. You're going to say what's happening is not happening. That's a part of denial. All of the studies say that women are shunning relationships. Men are responding with a high level of denial. What's going to happen when they get out of denial stage? Because I think anger comes after that. No, it says shock and denial, pain and guilt, anger and bartering. They go skip over pain and guilt and they go right to anger. That's what they're going to do. Once they realize that this is actually real, they're going to jump into anger. Your government has already jumped into fear. Your government has already had a fear-based response. Now the men are going to have a anger-based response. Once they realize, oh, these women really don't want us no more. Because right now they're in denial. Like, I want to show y'all this comment section. Right now, they in denial. They running around saying, well, no, women aren't doing this. Men are doing this because they're tired of women. Oh, okay, we'll see. But you need to understand that once they actually face reality, they're going to be violent. Because that's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do. Like, men don't know how to get anything except by way of violence, lies, and manipulation. Those are the only ways they know how to get stuff. Violence, lies, manipulation. 3 top ways men acquire what they acquire is by way of violence, manipulation, and lies. The men in this comment section are delusional. They're delusional. She said, but look at what this white woman said. 45% is still slow in progress. It should be at least 70%. I agree. It should be at least 70%. Becky said it needs to be turned up a notch. Becky is saying, why don't y'all get on board? We need to get this body count up, basically. But Becky's saying this 45 needs to go up. She's saying y'all playing. This ain't enough. No, she's saying let's increase that by 30%. But there's a bunch of men that I've been looking on here There's a whole bunch of men that are in denial. But I want y'all to listen to what these women are saying, because they're not delusional. Like, that's the difference. Becky, they do have a sector of male worshipers, but it's not the majority. It's not the majority. They do have a sector of male worshipers. It's these conservative trad wife promoting things. Those are their male worshipers. That's not mostly women of no color. Unlike our community that is majority male worshipers, their community is not majority male worshipers. And we know that based on how they move. She said, and let's not forget another reason men who don't want to commit or be fathers. Some even abandon their responsibilities when they have kids. Why is it on women to bear all the responsibility? Do we even need to say that if most white men were abandoning their children and complaining about having child support, do we even need to say white women wouldn't be having kids with them? Because she already telling you this is a reason to not have children. Mind you, she's not saying some, she's not saying a majority, she's saying some even abandon their kids. We at the majority in the Black community and Black women still having kids with these men. Trump doesn't have a child support policy. Please block anybody who keeps talking about Trump and child support. Please block them because they lying. Now, Becky is telling you if some men abandon their responsibilities when they have kids, she's saying some men, when some men do this, this warrants you not dealing with them. In the Black community, this is the majority. And Black women are saying, oh no, all we need to do is marry them. Two different groups of women with two different mindsets. Becky's mindset is saying when men are abandoning your kids, you don't have more kids with them. Black women are saying, well, let's marry them and then they won't abandon them. No, you just go be a married single mother. Yeah, the mods were quick. Thank y'all for being so quick and vigilant. Thank you so much. Yeah, Trump doesn't have a child support policy. It's a modification to how child support will be enforced under Project 2025, because we gotta listen. We can't include the fact of how child support is going to be enforced under Project 2025, or when we get into Handmaid's Tale. They just telling you how the Handmaid's Tale is about to deal with child support. Basically, that's what they telling you, and it's about the enforcement of it. None of it said anything about a tax credit. But I'm trying to show y'all the difference here. With Becky, it's don't get with them, don't have children with them because they're abandoning them. Black women's response is, we need to have Black kids. Never mind the fact that the fathers are abandoning them in the majority and have been for multiple generations. Black women's response is, well, we need more Black kids. Then how are we going to get Black kids? I mean, Black men are abandoning them, so you would just prioritize that. You wouldn't prioritize the existence of children over them having both of their parents. Like you just wouldn't do that. But that's what Black women are doing. Black women are prioritizing what they should not be prioritizing. They're prioritizing skin tone over having both parents, because the men have already shown you that they are not going to take care of their kids. They've already shown it, and they've shown it multiple generations. So at this point, Black women can't say, oh, well, we didn't know that Black men didn't want to take care of their kids. Yes, you did. You did, because by action and word, they showed you and they told you that they wasn't going to provide for their children. Black women do not have an excuse here. You don't have an excuse. You know they're not going to take care of their kids. You know they're not, but you still keep having kids with them. Again, different women, different mindsets. Your response to men abandoning their children should not be to marry them. And it should not be, we need to have Black skin. No one has kids just because of their skin tone. Black women are the only people doing that. She said the only way to push back and tell them that we are done raising the generation for free, being underpaid, simply expected to be patronized and take it, prescribed our worth, feelings, etc. This is simply how things must be. Exercise autonomy in the name of our humanity. And you don't think you should link up with like-minded individuals. You want to listen to black men. You want to listen to black men, or you want to go towards the women who you have a shared interest with and who can actually get something done. China King said exactly, marrying men who don't care for their previous family while expecting him to take care of the current one. Foolishness. Yet a lot of black women do that. She said, and by 2030, American women will own 2/3 of America's wealth. Becky and them already know what's going on. Black women listening to the lies of black men. And look at this male. Or I think this is a male worshiping woman. So we go show you her because I think she is a male worshiper. Yep, a male worshiper. Here she go, because I told you they do got some male worshipers in a community, but it's not the majority. In the black community, male worshipers are the majority. She said, this is so sad. There is a way to live harmoniously, embracing our differences as male and female. No need to establish hierarchy based on gender. It is unfortunate that this is the way we reach equality. Listen, men have already shown you that they are not willing to live harmoniously with you. And this is what I'm telling you. This is the illogical mindset of a male worshiper, is to keep beating a dead horse. Men have already shown you they're not going to live harmoniously with you. They've already shown that. They're not going to do it. They ain't never done it. They can't even live harmoniously among themselves. So why would you come on here and say there is a way to live harmoniously, embracing our differences between male and female? Okay, ma'am, what is the way to do that then? What's the way to do it? If there's a way to live harmoniously with men, what is it? Men have shown that they can't live harmoniously with anyone, not even themselves. Men have shown that even if all men are the same color, they will divide based on hair color. If they are the same skin tone, they have shown that they will segregate based on eye color. They have shown that they are incapable of living harmoniously with anyone. So why did you come on here and say that there is a way to live harmoniously and men ain't never done it? Do we have this type of delusion in the black community? And that's because it's a male worshiping delusion. And when you are a male worshiper, you're going to ignore everything that men have shown you. And you're going to say stupid stuff like there's a way to live harmoniously, embracing our differences as male and female. You think that. Men don't. Men don't think this. Men are not capable of embracing differences, because when there are differences, they create a hierarchy. You're just being delusional at this point. When have men ever demonstrated, like making this statement is as silly as saying black women are standing on business? When have black women ever stood on business when it comes to men? Black women ain't never stood on business when it comes to men. So you wouldn't just say, oh, well, I think this generation of black women is going to stand on business. It's never happened, but sure, it's going to happen now. You was in worse situation than it didn't happen. So why would it happen now? It's like black women don't stand on business. Becky do. And so therefore, black women should enlist Becky to stand on business. She ain't going to do it. Then you would obviously get people who are. But it's like, no, black women ain't gonna stand on business, and men, you can't live with them harmoniously. They've already shown that you can. And look, she's gonna say they will force women to have children with heavy taxes and no work for them. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. That's why they got rid of the Civil Rights Bill. They got rid of the Civil Rights Bill because if they deny women the opportunity to work, then all they can do is sit up and have babies. Becky is using foresight. Black women are not. Black women are using black male sight. And you should never be listening to black men. You should never be listening to them. She said, go and get sterile if you know you don't want a baby. I did after a reversal of Roe. And I'm going to go get an IUD for 10 years just in case, because ain't nobody forcing no baby on me. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Every black woman should at this point be on birth control. Every black woman should be on birth control. You should be having your daughters on birth control. Why? Because you're in a predatory system with some predators who want to force you and your young daughters to have children that they don't want to have. You can say your legs are sealed shut. What if someone forces themselves on you? If someone forces your legs open, then they're obviously not sealed shut. And I think we know that there's a group of people who force women's legs open on a daily basis. So we're not going to just sit here and say, well, my legs are sealed shut and then put a period at the end of it. Your legs are sealed shut until a man forces you to open them. Basically, until a man forces you to open them. It's just there. It's so annoying. I'm starting to think some people are just incapable of thinking beyond the base level. I'm really thinking that they are. So, because before you said my legs are sealed shut, it's almost like your brain tuned out grape. That's very prevalent and very common. It's almost like your brain ignored the fact that there's a group of men plotting online on how to effectively grape you and get away with it. So what do you mean your legs are sealed shut? The best thing you can go do is get on some birth control. Men are not removing women's birth control. They can't. It's like, what are you talking about? You just had legislation passed that said even if you are great, you still got to have the baby, and you don't think that's going to promote men to do it more? Like, you would just be thinking. You would just be thinking. But if you on birth control, they can't snatch the hormone out of your system. Ain't no man running around ripping IUDs out of women's bodies. Like, they not doing that. She gonna say men might remove birth control. Tell me the first time this ever happened. This is what I mean when people start bringing up stupidity into discussions. Show me one case of a man removing a woman's birth control. Fine. Let me look up the grape stats and see how many men remove birth control before they grape a woman. Like, y'all just be... I'm going to choose to move on from this because I don't want to drag nobody. I really don't. Brooklyn delusion. You said delusion. It's just like, I'm saying Brooklyn. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it together. I really am. I'm trying to... Most birth control can't be removed. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't. You have to surgically remove an IUD. A man doesn't even know how to locate the IUD. What are you talking about? They go remove. What birth control are they removing? Jimmy J said right, because she had a problem for every solution. Go mammy in place. She gonna say they can make laws. Can make them, and they are in place, or in two different things. Just go get some today and get out my comments. Anyway, we go fine. This is also the problem for men. This is also a problem for men. We're just gonna pivot. I may choose to ignore ignorant people. Girl, don't go get on anything and use some super glue to glue your legs shut and see if that works. You're like, girl, go get you some Gorilla Glue and glue your thighs together and see if that's gonna work. Because my guess is that even if you did Gorilla Glue your legs together, if a man wants access to you, he has no problem ripping your skin off to get your legs open. So fine, just don't get no birth control, don't get nothing. Don't get nothing. Just go make up dumbass scenarios of your legs being sealed shut, as if ain't no way to get them apart. Yeah, because there's no way to get your legs apart. Like, I think you found the solution to grape. You should be getting paid for it, ma'am. Sounds like you found the solution to grape. We didn't know the solution to grape was in super glue. Why lonely single men want romance but women don't? A recent study challenges the assumption that everyone is looking for love. This was posted on November 30th, 2024. 2 months ago, just so y'all know. 2 months ago. Single people who are lonely want to go on dates and start romantic relationships, right? For lonely single men, that's true. But for lonely single women, not so much. This right here is what's bodying men's mind. And they don't know how to deal with women showing that we wouldn't choose you normally. See, men have said here, and being the messengers and the authority of your nature, all the while creating a system to force you to do something that they're trying to tell you that's in your nature to do. If it's in your nature to submit, they wouldn't have to fight you so much for submission. If it's in your nature to naturally gravitate towards them, they don't need to create a system. If they're smarter than you, they don't need to restrict you from education. If they're stronger than you, if they're more civil than you, they don't need to make a bunch of laws to curb men's criminal behavior, to curb men's antisocial behavior. So you could have just looked into the system that you was in to see that they lying. Like, okay, if women are really weaker and less intelligent, why do I need to have all these systemic barriers to reinforce my faulty notion? If women are naturally submissive and are going to choose me, why do I have to manipulate them through telling them through religion, by telling them that they were created to serve us by God? Sounds like you're trying to override her nature. Sounds like you know that it's not in her nature to choose you or submit to you, and you're trying to create an environment that is conducive to taking her out of her nature. They're trying to take you out of your nature because your nature would be to gravitate away from them. Your nature would be to retreat because they are violent, because they are a threat. So nothing in your nature would push you towards men. They have to create a system based on lies and manipulation. They literally have to tell you that God created you for them in order for them to gain access to you. There, I said it. How much access do you think men would have towards women if they hadn't wrote that Eve was created from the rib of Adam to serve Adam? Do you think women will be getting with him? Do you think women will want to marry him? Do you think women will be so male identified and desperate from a man if they hadn't said through religion that God created you to be a servant of a man and you were created from his? Probably not. It would be very difficult to convince you of this unless they tied it to your creation, unless they tied it to your soul, unless they tied it to your religious belief. You would not do it. Do you think you would only want to be with one man if men didn't tell you that it was in your nature to be monogamous? Do you think that you would be attaching emotions to sex if men didn't tell you that it's in your nature to be emotional when you have sex? Meanwhile, the fact that they calling you thoughts and talking about your body count means that your nature is to have multiple men. It would mean that your nature is one of non-monogamy and theirs is one for monogamy. One, they created monogamy. Two, they literally, their heads explode if they get cheated on. If men feel like the woman that they were was with any other man, their heads explode. That's why they're obsessed with your body count, because they are built for monogamy. You are not. Your psychology is more suitable for monogamy than theirs. Your nature is to not be monogamous, and this study is going to point that out. This study is going to point out what your nature is. Look, the assumption that just about everyone is looking for romantic love is so pervasive and until recently so rarely challenged that it strikes some people as the truism about human nature. That's just what it's like to be an adult. It's normal and natural to want to be in a romantic relationship, only it isn't. This study is to tell you this is not in your nature. This is not in your nature. That's why it's talking about, this is challenging the misconceptions about your nature and that you will naturally go pursue relationships with men. You will not. In 2019, the Pew Research Center found that among a national U.S. sample of solo singles, not married, not cohabitating, and not in committed relationships, half were not interested in a romantic relationship or even a date. When they conducted a similar survey in 2022, the percentage had increased a bit. 56% were just not interested. Who do you think is less interested? Who do you think is less interested naturally in relationships, in these romantic relationships? Who do you think is naturally less interested in them? Women. Men are having cognitive dissonance because they were sold a lie about your nature and you were showing them that what they believe is not true. Tesler and her colleagues found the same thing. In their analysis of a national U.S. sample of solo single people surveyed in 2021, they learned that 51% of them were not interested in going on dates or starting a romantic relationship. That number, 51%, came from averaging across all of the solo single people in the study. It mattered, though, whether they were men or women and whether they had always been single or had been previously married. Among the previously married, a remarkable 73% of women were not interested in romance. So either it's in your nature to not desire these relationships, or men are turning you off from them. The overwhelming majority of previously married women were not interested in romance. They're not interested in it. Your prize done turned you off of relationships. Among the previously married men, that number was 50%. So that means, to a degree of nearly 25% more men wanted the relationship than women. This is the real problem. Their nature is coming out and your nature is coming out. And your nature, that you don't need them, is being revealed to men, and they're having so much cognitive dissonance over it, they just prefer to deny it. Okay, let me put it in there. Yeah, these men are like, before I believe this, I'll just deny it. So they're just running around denying it. Among those who were never married, the women were again more likely to say they were uninterested in dating or relationships than men. But the difference was much smaller. It was a 3% difference, but it's still 3% more men wanted relationships than women. Women do not want these relationships. For both the never married and previous married women, the older solo singers were even less likely to be interested in romance than the younger ones. So they're saying the older the woman is, the less likely she wants to be tied to a man. So what bandits are sitting there saying, there's a different article I want to show y'all too. But this was one of the ones that I want to show y'all. They want romance, but women don't. This is the other one. 4 reasons why single women are happier than single men. So there's multiple studies. This one came out December 26, 2024. Men are trying to convince you that they are the ones driving away from relationships, and they're not. There is no statistic that proves that men are shunning relationships. They are not. Here, let me drop the link in here because I hope y'all spread this. Please spread this link. Shut these bandits up when they try to tell you that they don't want the women's no more. Yeah, they do. You don't want them because your nature is to retreat, not gravitate towards. Your nature is to get the hell away from them. That's what your nature says. If these males prove themselves to be dangerous, and they're going to, then you're going to need to go ahead and just leave their ass alone. Yeah, definitely, Love Jones. Please do. Shout out to Pretty Love Jones. I really just find Love Jones to be adorable. I really do. I really do. I really do, Love Jones. I just think you are just the most adorable person. You really are. I enjoy listening to you as well. So I can't wait till you choose to talk about this. Know that I will be front and center when you do. But let's get back to the article because I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all the coldest part about this before I end it. I'm going to show y'all what's really cold about this when they say why women are happier single. And the reason women are happier single is because they get to live in their nature. Many women will likely find greater satisfaction in singlehood where they can live as they please. Women are far less likely to rely solely on a romantic partner to meet their social needs. Women in relationships may feel that their sexual needs go unmet more often than men do. So not only are these men not good people or partners, they dick game is trash too. They got trash dick game and they want you to marry it. Ain't no way I'm about to legally bind myself to a needy ass man who got bad dick. It ain't gonna happen. When you hear the word spinster, what kind of person do you envision? Now, holding that thought, consider the word bachelor. Who comes to mind? Likely you would envision 2 wildly different characters, a miserable old maid or a crazy cat lady if you JD Vance. JD Vance called you a crazy cat lady, even though statistically men have more cats than women do, versus a young, happy-go-lucky man. If these personas came to mind, you would be thinking along the same line as the masses. Societal norms have connotated, sorry y'all, it's the fact that they're separated and one of my contacts is blurry because my eyes won't stop dripping. So hold on. Societal norms have connotated these 2 terms with the very kind of characteristics. Single women are unhappy, lonely souls who spend their lives pining for a man, and single men are easygoing, charismatic charmers without a care in the world. You simply need to go no further than any comment on any post relating to Black people, and you go see this. Go on a marriage post and you go see married women, statistically the most unhappy demographic, telling women that they're unhappy and lonely. Even though the real women who are unhappy and lonely are married women. Married women are happier than nobody in society. Married women are the least happy people in society. They just aren't. But they want to project their lack of happiness onto single women that they are jealous of. And the reason we say single women that they're jealous of is because we already saw the stat that most women who get married regret getting married. They don't like it. And you're not going to tell me that a person doesn't regret marriage, but they refuse to get back in it. If they refuse to get back in a marriage, that means they regret the first one. They don't need to tell you. You can take context clues. It's called an inference. If they are not willing to remarry, then it's likely that they regret the first marriage. That's how that works. That's a part of literacy. It's not just about what you read, it's about your understanding. The fact that the marriage rate, the divorce rate is high and it's initiated by women would then tell you that married women are not happy, because happily married people do not divorce. There are 0 people who were happily married but went and got a divorce. So if the divorce rate is high and it's initiated by women, that will tell you that married women are miserable. They are miserable. They just are. Married women are the most unhappy demographic on the planet. However, findings from an October 2024 study in social psychology and personality science challenges our preconceived notions regarding single men and women. In fact, lead authors Elaine Hone and Jeff McDonough have seemingly flipped the stereotypes on their head. Yeah, because women are showing their real nature. That's why they don't want you to have rights. Because men are about creating lies and illusions with a Harry Potter ass. Men like to weave webs of lies and manipulation. Why do you think they really want to get rid of everything racial? Do you think they want to have a colorblind society, or do you think they don't want to hear about their racism? Or do you think they don't want to hear about how many people they disenfranchise, including women? It's not that they want to be in a colorblind society. They don't want accountability. They don't want you talking about their history of racism. Yep, Donna Dash, they don't want to hear about it. They don't. That's why they're removing everything. They don't want to hear about it. That's what they're saying. Look, single women have higher relationship status satisfaction. Mind you, it's not saying married women. It says single women have higher relationship status satisfaction. In comparison to single men, single women are significantly happier with their relationship status, meaning men don't like to be single, which is why once they, if one chick is gone, they're immediately attached to another one. Again, parasite. A parasite has to be attached to a host nearly at all times, or it will perish. The same way men have to be attached to women, or their mental and physical health declines. Parasite. That is, women are far more content with being single or unmarried than men are. And this right here is why The Handmaid's Tale is coming. This is why they're rolling back no-fault divorce. It's not because they value family. It's not because they value family structure. It's because they know that they need to be tied to a woman in order to survive. They know that they need to be tied to a woman. If they are not tied to a woman, their quality of life and mental health diminishes. The same is not said for you. It's just not. Because you are far more content with being single, this is a threat to their existence. I'm telling you, your choice is a threat to their existence. You need to understand that. Your choice is a threat to their existence. Your choice, your ability to choose, your ability to make a decision based on what you want, based on what you want, your ability to choose what is best for you is an immediate threat to their survival. Are they going to tell you that? No, they're going to pretend that's not the case. Again, they're Harry Potter. They have to spin illusions. They have to spin illusions. The only way they can get access to you is if they weave an elaborate web of illusion and lie. So if they got to lie to you and pretend that they care about children that they're abandoning, then they'll lie to you if that's going to get you to vote for your right to terminate a pregnancy to go away. And a lot of women did. A lot of women said, no, we got to save the babies. Never mind that the men are raping the babies and sex trafficking them and complaining about providing for them. We're delusional, dumbass, male identified Christian women. We got to save the babies. They ain't even saving the baby here, but here these dumb bitches go. They ain't even saving the babies who are born. But these dumb bitches are falling for the illusions and saying, oh, they just care about kids. Oh, we got to bring back family structures. Meanwhile, you got a whole parasite that's trying to leech and live off of you, suck the life out of you. That's what they're trying to do. It says, as Holman McDonald explained in an interview with Gilmore Health News, these findings may be partly due to the steady decay of outdated social norms. Traditionally, there has been a lot of societal pressure on women to secure a mate. Black women are still here. Black women are stuck here. This is where Black women are stuck. Because Black women want to get married because of societal pressure. Black women don't want to have a baby out of wedlock because of societal pressure. Black women don't want to be a single mother, even though they go be one anyway, because Black men don't love their kids because of societal pressure. So Black women are stuck here. This is where Black women are stuck. This is where white women are not stuck. Traditionally, there has been a lot of societal pressure on women to secure a mate, and it still is that way in the Black community, and settle down so as to not be seen as leftover women. This is Black women. This is Black women here. This is what Black women get trapped into unhappy unions. All you got to do is tell them they go be a baby mama, they undesirable, and Black women will run face first into a toxic, abusive relationship just to avoid being called this. I want to be a leftover woman because leftover women are safe. Leftover women look younger even though they are older because they don't have somebody sucking the life out of them. Look, this pressure may have been a major cause of unhappiness among single women. This is a manufactured state. Then they're telling you here, if women were not happy being single, it's because society created an environment that is not conducive to them being happy. She's telling you when women are not happy, or they're telling you, because this is a man and a woman, when they're telling you when single women are unhappy, it is because of society shaming them. It's not because they're miserable by themselves. It's because society won't let them be by themselves in peace. They won't leave a single woman alone because men need a host to attach themselves to. So, of course, you got to shun single women because the goal is to get all these women to run to danger and embrace it as if it's not dangerous. And that's called the male. And they've proven this. With time, society has grown more lax with its prescriptions, allowing single women to be free and have the time of their lives. So they're telling you at some point society decided to allow single women to be single in peace. Allow these women to be happy on their own. Basically, they said society has decided, okay, we'll just let these women live their life on their own. We ain't gonna shame them because they don't have a male sucking the life out of them, because the majority of women will rush towards that anyway. Now that it's changing tide and more women are saying, oh, I want to be single too. Now men are like, no, because if y'all are single, then we don't have a host to attach ourselves to. No, because if y'all are single, then you're not going to want to give birth to us. So these are the reasons why women are happier single. So you had single women have higher relationship satisfaction. 2, single women have higher life satisfaction. Beyond relationships, single women also have significantly higher life satisfaction than single men do. In terms of overall well-being, it seems that singlehood bodes well for women, but not for men, because they have a parasitic nature. If men didn't feel like they had to be attached to a woman, they wouldn't be. Again, Hone and McDonald explained that these findings in relations to women's broader social context, specifically in relation to their social support structures. Men are more solitary in nature, and that's because they're not nice. They're not nice. That's why. Because they're solitary in nature, because they're nasty and they violent and disgruntled. They're not nice people. Whereas women are nicer. Women are more pleasant to be around. Women are more likely to form a community sustained by several thriving relationships. Divine One says single women are also more financially secure when there is no male attachment. They are. Thank you, Divine. Welcome here, Divine. I'm glad you're here. Men I read that, sorry. They continue, these communities mean single women are less likely to feel any negative impacts from being single. Overall, women are far less likely to rely on a romantic partner to meet their many social needs, meaning women are independent, males are dependent. They have more tightly knit social circles, and they tend to them to a greater extent than most men do. Hone and McDonald emphasize the importance of this in their study, explaining that the social support and life satisfaction link is well documented, and that this link is especially crucial for singles who report non-romantic social support as a key aspect of their well-being and singlehood. Single women have higher sexual satisfaction. This is one of the main reasons married women are jealous of single women. This one right here. This one right here. This is one of the main reasons married women hate single women, because single women can go have sex with whoever they want to. Married women, you kind of restricted to disabled dick over there. That's what you restricted to, disability dick. We can go out and scour and find dick. If one dick ain't right, we can just go jump on another one and test that one out. As the married woman, no, you married disabled dick and you go stay with it. Storm said, I learned this in therapy. My therapist kept pushing for me to find a relationship. Yeah, men need to establish more friendships, but instead they too busy trying to compete with other men. So it just is what it is. These eyes said, I believe this is the main reason why Sanji was banned from YouTube, because she was speaking on this, which breaks the need for having a man. Yeah, it's some people did readings on it and said it was very much political. Donna Dash said, yes, orgasms and sex toys are allies to single women. Married women can't even have toys. Their men don't allow it. Right, because they men are jealous of the toys. This is what I'm saying. The men are insecure about the sex toys because the sex toys can make you come quicker and harder than they can. Let's just, very few men know how to make a woman come by penetration. Very few men know how to do that. It says, perhaps the most surprising finding is that single women are significantly more sexually satisfied than single men are. This is why men run around saying, oh, they thoughts, they 304. All they care about is they high body count. No, they care about quality sex, and most of you can't provide it. So she got to knock out a bunch of disabled dick before she get one that can do something. That's why she can go out and find it. A result that contradicts prior existing research. What existing research do y'all think this contradict? It contradicts the research, whatever stance they said, oh, well, you just too emotional. Oh, women can't handle multiple men. And it seems like you handle it just well. Sounds like it's in your nature to be a double dick clutcher. Sounds like you should take some pride in your nature and stop letting men decide your nature for you. This is another finding that might be explained by societal norms. Gendered housework is not the only heteronormative expectation that leads to a higher reward and lower cost for men. Again, higher reward and lower cost for men because you have a free slave. The higher reward is not for the woman in the relationship. The higher reward goes to the man. Most of the cost goes to the woman because somebody got to be bearing the cost. If it's higher rewards and lower cost for men, then that automatically means there's less reward and higher cost for women. This cannot be true unless women or married women are taking the shitty end of the stick. If men have the higher reward and the lower costs, then women have the lower reward and the higher costs. That's what that means. There's no way to get around it. So if lying married Black women want to lie, then you have this research to say no, because the data says the higher reward and the lower cost is on the man, which means the lower reward and the higher cost would be on the woman. Means you are not benefiting as much as he is benefiting. That's what that means. Hone and McDonald's study also acknowledges how common it is for women's sexual pleasure. Listen, y'all can say whatever you want to, call it double dick clutcher, call it a hoe, call it a 304, call it a thought. I'm not marrying a man with weak dick game. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It wouldn't marry. If a man doesn't have strong dick game, I will not marry him. I didn't say I won't continue dealing with him. I said I ain't marrying him. I'm not gonna marry you and then be cheating on you in no marriage because your dick is weak. I'm not marrying a weak dick bandit. It ain't gonna happen. Get your dick game right first. But ain't no way. So you think I'm about to be in a relationship with a low reward and a high cost and that you get to be weak dick in these sheets? Absolutely not. You go get your ass up and you go study. I'll give you time to go study and get your skill right. You will get at least 1 year to perfect your skill. If you still got a weak dick after 1 year of marriage, we getting a divorce. I don't care what you say. We getting a divorce. You get 1 year to fix your dick game. And I'll let you have as much practice as you need on me, but you gonna fix your dick game or you will get, or I'm gonna divorce you. And I'm gonna say we have irreconcilable differences because I'm gonna know the differences are irreconcilable because I done gave your ass the opportunity to get your dick game right and you didn't do it. So now I'm divorcing you and you could take your weak dick to somebody else. But it says, it acknowledges how common it is for women's sexual pleasure to be deprioritized in long-term heterosexual relationships. As a result, women in relationships may feel their sexual needs go unmet more often than men do. It ain't no feeling. It is what's going to happen. 4, single women have lower desire for a partner. Again, single women are single by choice. Stop telling single women that's why they don't got no man. They don't want one. If she's single, it's because she doesn't want a man, not because she can't get one. Another finding that stands out in bright contrast to the spinster stereotype is that single women have a lower desire for a partner than single men do. This is one of the biggest misconceptions here, is that women want all these relationships. No, they don't. No, we don't. Because really, your little Harry Potter magic is wearing off. Your little Harry Potter magic is wearing off. So you done cast the spell on women. Spells ain't permanent. The spell is coming off. So now women are like, yeah, no, I don't need to be tied to a man. Women are like, they said that Eve was created for Adam. I think I'm going to be on my Lilith shit right now. Mind you, Lilith, the only reason why Lilith was said to be the mother of demons is because she didn't want to submit to a man. Lilith is perpetually demonized as the mother of demons because she did not want to submit to a man. And so even in their story, even in their Bible story, women are expendable because, okay, I made Lilith over here. She didn't want to submit. Okay, let me just get you Eve then. Let me get you this dumb bitch over here. Let me give you this lesser bitch. Okay, you got the lesser woman and now look what happened. Look at how even in the Bible, men complained and whined. Oh, I want a lesser woman. Lilith got too many standards. Lilith want to be equal. Lilith don't want to submit. Okay, so God gave you a pick-me-ass, male-worshiping ass bitch. And according to your story, she was a simple-minded, basic bitch, so basic that Satan was able to trick her to bring sin to you because you wanted to downgrade. You downgraded, and look what you got for downgrading. Their male God was like, sure, Adam, you a whiny ass bitch. You complaining about Lilith. She too strong for you. Let me give you a weaker woman. And guess what? Guess what Adam did? He got a weaker woman and then blamed all of his transgressions on the weaker woman. That's what he did. He said, let me find a weaker woman who will submit to me and I'm going to blame everything on her. And men have been blaming everything on Eve and other women since this basic bitch was created from his rib. Since this bandit rib ass bitch was created, men cannot stop blaming women for everything that they do. Now they won't stop. Everything is on the woman. Oh, the woman was weaker. He ain't gonna mention the fact that he wanted a weaker woman. He ain't gonna mention the fact that he cried to have a weaker woman because the stronger woman, he didn't want her. Lilith went off to do her own damn thing. Lilith didn't bring sin into humanity, although she's called a demon. Lilith didn't bring no sin to humanity. Eve's rib ass did. Bandit, your rib is what brought sin to you. You wanted a weaker woman, you got one. In other words, single men crave a stable relationship far more than women who may be content or not even try to find one. Who may be content or not try to find one. Women, not men, women who may be content being single or not even try to get in a relationship. Once again, Hone and McDonald explained this finding all too easily in their interview. With women catching up to men in the workplace, this is another issue. They said you were the weaker vessel and now you run in circles around them, even in oppression. They gave you one right, and that's the right to work, and that one right was enough for you to run circles around they dumbasses. And now they mad and crying. Oh, well, school is for women and we need some male affirmative action. And what about these boys? They don't mature as fast. But you said they did, though. But you said they did. But all of your historical documents say women are dumb, women aren't fit for education, males are. So what's the problem? Women got two rights, one to work and one to go to school, and men just can't. They can't. Now men don't know what to do. Oh, women got two rights. So what are we going to, women got too many rights. Now we're in a gynocracy. Oh, this is a gynocracy. Not women having two rights. Just we complaining ass bitches. I'm tired of it. Like, I don't want to hear y'all crying. You said you were the better man. Now prove it. And creating affirmative action for males that were never oppressed is not proving it. Your dumbasses said males were smarter and better suited for school, so stand on business. Then stand on it. You said naturally you're better. So it shouldn't matter if every woman rushed into the university. You said they can't outdo men. Stand on business. But now you crying like some bitches asking for affirmative action that you just got rid of for the people that you actually were oppressing. And this is the problem with how they think. It's a problem. With women catching up to men in the workplace, you ain't even at where they at. You just catching up. Notice how it does not say you caught up to. So you still behind in the workplace, but they still mad. And this is why they're solitary, because they're disgruntled and nasty and non-cooperative. Males just aren't agreeable. They're not agreeable people. It has never been more palatable to be a single woman living alone and taking care of herself. The traditional male roles of provision and protection can be taken up by the woman and the government. And conclude, this de-emphasizes the need for a man in a woman's life. Listen, if all you need to do is give a woman money to render a man useless, then he had no value to begin with. If all you have to do is give women the ability to work and provide for themselves, if that renders a man useless and unneeded, then he already came into the situation without a damn thing to offer. Then that means you are already a nothing ass bitch. Why are you complaining? You did not establish any value beyond money. That is nobody's fault for yours. Go cry. That you the only reason why. You're the reason why. Because you said all a man provides is money. So you didn't provide anything else to her. So now she doesn't need your dumb ass because you didn't establish anything. But you're logical though. But logic didn't tell you that you should probably provide something else to women, because at some point they're going to be able to provide for themselves. Your dumb logical ass didn't think about that day. So you so logical, but logic didn't tell you one day these women are going to choose, they're going to find a way to provide for themselves. And then once that provision is removed, we gonna see just how parasitic and nasty attitude having your ass is. And that's what women have been seeing. They've been seeing that you are not agreeable. You're not cooperative. You don't want an equal partnership. You're not nice. You're rude. You're nasty. You're dependent. You're abusive. You're narcissistic. And you refuse to self-correct. And you wonder why women don't want you. And you want to sit here and act like you're going to force women to take you? We'll see where that goes in the future. All in all, it seems that finding a man ranks lower on the priority list for women. Finding a man ranks lower on the priority list for single women. If it's even considered at all. They said if it's even considered at all. So basically, these single women ain't thinking about your dumb ass because you didn't give them anything to think about except how violent and unpleasant you are to be around. That's the only thing that men have done, is show women how unpleasant they are to be around. That's it, and that's all. Y'all, I'm starving. I really am. And I've been sitting here trying to pretend that I'm not starving, but I am really starving. If my microphone is standing on business, y'all should have heard my stomach growl. So all in all, it seems that finding a man ranks lower on the priority list for single women, if it's even considered at all. In many ways, single women experience freedoms that are much less attainable in relationships. And this is why married women are jealous. They have complete control over their social and sexual lives, and they're free to focus on themselves without feeling obligated to care for anyone. This independence may be one of the most empowering aspects of singlehood for women, and could highlight why so many women report being happier on their own. And it's the main reason why men are trying to confine you to them. And that's why men want to confine you to them. Because they know that you don't need them and you actually happier without them. And men are saying, well, we're going to force ourselves on you. Just nasty. Just being nasty. Like, I just feel like they just be being so nasty. It's just like, what are y'all talking about? They don't have any redeemable qualities. And that's why there's a loneliness epidemic. And listen, they can lie about being lonely as much as they want to. It's not going to change stats and data. I mean, they probably won't see the stats and data because the orange president done sat up here with his comb over and said, oh, well, no stats can be collected. So this might be, listen, y'all, this is so retarded. Like, what do you mean can't nobody gather data unless they bring it? Like, the fact that y'all letting this ride is real interesting. And the fact that this is riding tells you that men are actually more submissive. Men are submissive. Because if men weren't submissive, they will be doing something about this man. Men are submissive. They are. Men are naturally submissive, and that's why they're submitting. Maya said, wait, he's trying to get rid of stats? Yes, girl. Y'all ain't been paying attention? Yes, he want to get rid of statistics. Yes. I'm about to get out of here, though. I'm about to get out of here because I need to go eat. I'm starving. I need to make a Costco run and done. Men are celebrating in their mom's basement. Yeah, because they're in denial. They're riding off of cognitive dissonance and denial, but give it a few months, give it 6 months to a year, and we'll see how much they change their tune when they realize the full force that, yeah, we really just ain't trying to deal with you like that. You got weak dick. You're not nice. You're abusive. You're violent. You don't know how to hold a conversation. And you probably have bad body odor because you don't think you should take a shower unless a woman tell you to. So therefore, I ain't got time. And I'm definitely not trying to deal with no bandit who was coddled by a boy mom. I'm not doing that. If you have a boy mom, I'm gonna need you to just get your ass on. I'm not doing the boy mom thing with you. Like I'm not accepting no man who had a boy mom. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow, I'll see y'all on Patreon for the Patreon live. We will get back to the gossip. I just had to come out and say this because I didn't hear nobody else saying it. So I was like, let me just go ahead and come out here and get these bandits the attention that they wanted. The bandits been tagging me and asking for my attention. I hope they happy about the attention that they been getting. This is the only amount of attention you about to get from me, bandits. Because ain't nobody about to sit up here and just be giving you all this attention. But y'all been sitting up there tagging my name in videos. Y'all missed me so much. It's so obvious y'all missed me so much. Y'all really did. And it's like y'all doing all that over little old me, not little old me. Anyway, I'm going to go eat. I'll see y'all on Patreon. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Patreon if you want the content. For everybody who's on Patreon, I'll see y'all in the live stream tomorrow and we'll get it in. Bye.